Yeah, I just got all the Discord pictures, and
Yeah, I'll just open them up as they go.
yeah, I got the chat here. All right, I think we are good to go. We're not going to do anything special today, but hello everybody. I am the Roguescaper, coming to you all live after a busy day. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do this as fast, but I'm joined today by Darkleaf just to really talk about the literal plethora of new things that dropped. That there's literally a boatload, if you'll pardon the future pun. That just army building, contemporary has now become almost a too busy format, and I just want to dive into these units and really talk about what they have to offer. And Darkleaf is here today to give me a bit more competitive analysis because I'm, kind of the silly art guy, known for losing most likely. So we get the combination of both opinions and of, just aesthetics and mechanics, and then also as well as competitive play styles. So, and welcome Dan to the chat. We're in for a good discussion today. So, of course,
Yeah. Welcome everyone.
Oh yeah,
I am
welcome. Darkleaf is
I
here.
am a Heroscape player of probably about 1 year competitive. I'm just here to talk about units. I jokingly made a post that I could be available for collab, and now I'm here. I just really want to talk about these guys. I think this wave is fantastic. It's going to have a lot of new opportunities, both all-time contemporary scape. It's just going to be a good old time. Hopefully, I can get all of these thoughts out in a voice format rather than typing in the Discord 24/7.
Yeah, I was up to like 2 in the morning last night just reading messages. And
I was there at 4 a.m. and I had to be up at 8. It was really bad.
No, I was too excited. I was reading everything all into the night, and I woke up early this morning and read it some more. So, I'm sorry, my chat box just got minimized, so I'm just fixing that real fast.
I am going around and plugging the stream to every Heroscape Discord.
Oh, thank you. I always forget to do that. All right, so we're just gonna go from the top. Here's kind of a quick preview of everything. So just to kind of summarize, this is coming out, not all at once. It's thankfully broken up over a couple of months from February, March, April, May. May is going to probably be the biggest month, I think, out of all of this, which works out because that's my birthday month. And I'm glad this is all coming out before ScapeCon and Gen Con, so we have a lot of new toys to play with. Pulling up first, I'm just kind of going through whatever they pull up on my my system here. So we got Agent Carr first. Writing Doomed.
I love this sculpt. It's so cool.
Aesthetically, it's really fun.
The figure itself we'll get into once the card's up, but I like what it looks like. I like the idea behind it. It's a shame it doesn't, do as much as I would like, but I still think it's really fun, and it's a really cool figure.
Yeah, I think aesthetically this is really fun. It's a fun unit. It's just something that it's I always say Renegade's main export is nostalgia, and they delivered on that front. In terms of play style, I think it could see some use, but it's just a little too expensive for me for what it does.
Yeah, it's got some synergy with the G.I. Joe Sniper Baroness, because you can take a turn, but even then, taking a turn, and you can only do that once per round, with Kara, getting 2 attacks, and maybe being able to crippling glance, it's just not that great comparatively to what you can be doing in both formats at the time. It's certainly going to be fun, and if you got 130 points in a casual game, rocking this guy is super fun. You're attacking for 6, throwing big dice out.
Yeah, he's I call him your home game. If you're just playing with your dad, he's over for the holidays, and you just want to put some cool guys at the table. Don't really care about army building. That's kind of where he falls, I think.
Yeah, if you want to have a fun time, you play Car. If you want to win, you probably play a different figure in most scenarios. But I like Car just because he's so cool. Just riding. It's so cool. It's the stupidest cool thing ever. And
yeah,
I love it.
it's just I think it's more of Renegade giving a love letter, like just a little bit.
Yeah, I completely like that. I really like that.
And not every unit needs to be competitively viable. There's so many different forms of the game to play that honestly, like if you're looking competitive in Delta, Car and Doomed are 140 points together. So it's not like I'd rather have 2 figures and 10 points more if we're running that, but.
Exactly, and I'm skewed by the competitive mindset, so
But
my
fun.
overall opinions of Dund is slightly lower than it could be for the average person.
But he's fun. We're not doing a ranking or anything, but I think he's just a cool guy. Let's see what we got next here. Next up, we got the Valorak Chain Gruts.
These guys,
These
I have some words
guys.
to talk about these guys with.
So yeah, visually they are goofy, but it kind of like in a fun way. Like they're not like Vorid goofy.
It kind of reminds me of like how I want to say like the mobsters from like
Yeah.
like the classic shows like that, and I kind of like that. I'm not a super enfranchised, like I haven't been playing for super long, but these guys look impressive, the stat wise.
I don't think
I
they're
really like
as good
what they
as Heavy Gruts, but
Yes, that's true. They're not as good as heavy gruts. 100%. If you're in all time, you are not playing these guys. But in contemporary, I do like these guys a lot.
Yeah, these guys are pretty. I think these guys are going to be pretty. They're just like a bread and butter, easy bonding squad. Like it just the way they elevate, all the champions so far is it's pretty incredible. Like Kane went from like a C or like a D tier unit to almost like a B or an A. Like he's just
Yeah. From what I've played Kane on his own, he's very weak, but he does output offensively pretty well. Attaching Kane to a bonding squad that also puts out attacks of 2 or 3 on height gives you a lot of moving room with it, and then them not being able to attack them from leaving engagement also
that
really helps out.
disengage.
And the commons are really good too. I think like the army's probably going to be 3 to 4 of these. Whatever bonder you choose, maybe Tuck as another option. I think Tuck's really good in this build too.
Yeah.
And then you can run Kane if you've got that. And I think it's really strong.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, Justin's saying.
Chat 4 Gruts, Kane, and Tuck is 490. Yeah, that's a fun build right there.
Yeah, that's a solid build.
Unfortunately, these guys just aren't even good enough to make Zed Nesbit viable. That's the only problem. Is I just think Zed Nesbit is probably one of the worst units in the game currently.
I think you can build the army with it, and I think it's not terrible. Like I think it makes him go from a bad unit to a playable unit.
Yeah,
with bonding.
I guess he's not like like Sedema levels, but it's just
and you also have the the fact that you can take the turn with the blimp, move your Gruts forward a bit, and then move them yet again. So you get double development on them.
You can't though. That's the only problem is you can't pick up the Gruts.
You
right?
Can't pick up.
It's only for small and medium Vorids, which is terrible.
Oh, that's my wrong there. Yeah, let me double check.
I might be wrong.
But I'm pretty sure, right?
Because I would have been like excited because that's the problem is Zed just doesn't have enough room to develop things, and all the other Vorids are so good at moving already. Like they don't really need it. Like it's not enough to build your army around. It's more. Just
you're totally right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I still think he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
Like, you just have better options.
Yeah, especially with these guys out now. But chain axes are great for just that reliability. If you're fighting kind of that averages out about like I don't want to do the math. I'm never quote the mean.
I do not do the math on any of these, but you essentially get 3 attack.
Yeah, you pretty much have 3 attack. It's a threshold, but also it's a form of with protection. And I think lower defense squads, like when you're going into like 2 defense, it's just going to be a lot more consistent.
Yeah, I'm very scared to play this against if I'm playing Glairy. I don't think Glairy stand a chance in an even matchup with these guys.
Which is
good.
Unless
you're running 3 Kraken lanes. Yeah, which they definitely needed something to.
Because I was army building recently, and just Gallery just don't have a lot of strong options. Like it's like a good Gallery player, and just what's released right now. Like there's not a lot. They're just that output. So there's something that can match that melee output, and contemporary now, which is nice. Daniel's saying all hail Fedorkas, and Vixonia is new works. Yeah, are awesome. These guys are really impressed me with the chain axes and strong arm. Yeah, strong arm I think is an underspoken power. The ability to give someone else disengage, like your big beefy heroes, is definitely going to make their playstyle feel a lot different than their Grut brother.
Yeah, Kane's going to be able to move around and get those stomps off, which is really nice. I think it's going to be a decent army. I don't know if it will be the best, but I think it's going to definitely be a contender for one of the ones that we see popping up in contemporary.
And that's not even talking about all time. Where I mean, you can do the, you got the orc synergy if you want to build into that. I think Narak, just having him on your army makes these guys really spicy.
Yeah, I think going with like not like the generic Grimneck build where you're going Chain Gruts, Narak, and then you're like using Kane or another like Tug to use a range piece to harass the enemy is also pretty good. Again, in like the more competitive environments where you're using the best of the best, I think heavies beat them pretty much all the time.
Yeah, heavies are just a lot more consistent, but I think these guys can get better with time, with better champions released.
The more champions come out, the more stuff. These guys are just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
the common heroes, like Justin said, you can get first assault from the common hero by being able to pivot off of them.
Let's see if
they're a really good squad, and I'm really excited to see what's coming up.
I want to talk about the Ramasaur next. I'm gonna just skip around here. I don't know how my my photos is pulling it up here, but here's a preview of everything else that's going on here. Oh, there we go. This is my favorite unit in the game. The Ramasaur Rider is just oh, there. He's fun. He's a Pachycephalosaurus. You know, it's just nice having classic dinos back, and this guy has so much panache about him.
He is quite a fellow. I love this sculpt. I love the card. And it's a pretty solid figure. I mean, 35 points, 3 life, 4 defense. That's really tanky.
Yeah,
this guy's gonna get in there.
You can just use him as a filler, honestly, for 35.
Yeah, I mean, it's also large wild. You know, Death Chasers can bond with it, and I don't think it's bad. It's got a lot of offensive output too. Like 2 attack is pretty rough, but first assault gives it 3. If it's on height, it's 4.
Yeah,
and if you even match in shields, which is most likely going to happen a lot of the time, you still do a wound, even if you take one. Because with 3 life, it's not going to matter. You'll almost always be hitting them for at least 1 attack with this guy.
I think it would have been too strong, but
really
I do wish Headbutt like knocked a figure back 1 space just because it would have been fun. But I actually think that would have hurt the Gret Orcs more.
I think it definitely does.
But
just change how you play it for sure.
But it would have been fun. It would have been more fun than
it would have been really thematic. Yeah, I like this guy a lot, even as filler, even as
I mean, you compare
a side bonder.
You compare like, classic priced Dumatef to this guy. 10 points more, you're just getting so much utility.
Yeah, you get way more out of this guy than you would most other filler units. And then it's also an orc champion, so classic orc can bond here too.
Oh yeah,
I would be totally fine running one of these in like a Blade Gruts or Heavy Gruts build if
just
I
as
had
a filler.
the extra points left over. Yeah, instead of like Marku Osamu, I would totally run this guy.
Yeah, just extra points, slot him in. Odds are he's doing a couple wounds. He's getting his points worth, and then you get a dinosaur on the field. Let's see. Chat is just saying having Kane as an almost Grimneck. It's pretty neat. Vixonia is saying think Decker is better with these guys. I think reference to the Gruts. Then Kane for the points. So you can also take Tuck and have him. Yeah, I haven't played a lot with Decker. I haven't had a chance to field him, but I mean, Decker is tanky. Like Decker sticks around so long if you kind of hold him off from the big strong range.
I've totally forgotten about Decker for a bit, but he's got decent stat line too.
Yeah, Decker's good if you need a moderate ranged special attack, which is always just nice to have in your army against various defensive powers. Take this guy over Ornak, even in Delta. Yeah, this is just a good classic solid design. He's one of my favorites that they've released so far. Rannoch Vipers. These guys.
Oh, these guys. I love these guys.
Yeah, these guys can slot into any army.
As a Stinger aficionado, these make my day.
Yeah, these are like Stinger lights. Like they're not as consistent and deadly as Stingers, but you get that. You get a little bit more move. You get a little bit more. You just get a little bit more of everything with these guys. And Stingers always feel like you're either really, really good into a matchup or just bad. Like these guys have options.
Yeah, the main thing these guys have going for it, they are 50 points for 3 figures that have 7 move and 6 range, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need for these guys to be good.
Yeah,
you can just slot 3 squads of this for 150 points, and you have a range part of your army. Are they gonna die really fast? Yeah, most likely. But the evasive 2 helps them survive in the range matchups, where melee, we'll close the gap and take him out. But in the range matchups, they're pretty evenly based with that. And 2 attacks, fine for a ranged squad. They're most likely going to get height with 7 moves. So.
Yeah, and most ranged squads have pretty low defense, so if you're able to pick them off before they get to you, like these guys are they're just easy to slot in. And then I think Hypnosis is interesting. I haven't really seen, it's pretty much, these guys play a lot like kind of like a Mohican Stinger hybrid a little bit. Like you really want to, pick off and stay on the back lines until last as possible. Vixonia says Rannoch's going to be really good with Maladrix. I've been running, like, at least in all-time formats, Maladrix with Tagawa Samurai Archers because they kind of fill a similar role. And so, yeah, I'm excited to have a good option to fill into that.
Yeah, and the OST that we did with pre-release units before Great Bows and Scions came out, Mal 3x Great Bow Archers has been one of the more consistent armies, so I think now with any of the range squads, whatever you can end up fitting is going to be really good. Hypnosis is interesting because you can afford to send these guys forward because they're not going to last long.
Yeah.
And if they have more tanky figures, you can reduce their defense down. Hopefully you're getting height on them, getting an attack of 3, and you roll 2 out of 3 skulls. Most figures only have around like 2 to 4 defense, so picture, getting height and attacking Maladrix. You roll 2 skulls, she's rolling 3 defense.
Yeah.
If you do that enough, she's going to take wounds, and stuff like the Gallery will roll 2 defense, if they're getting attacked from height. Or if it's just, straight on straight, they're going to be running 1 or 0, most likely.
Yeah,
so the Hypnosis is really good to
they've definitely
push your guys forward.
They fill a role. Like, people keep on saying I was just fielding Q11 so much. It's just because we didn't really have like a good versatile melee ranged option, and then contemporary up until this point. These guys are going to be kind of. I just like how they're splashable. Like, not everything needs complex synergy webs. You can even like 2 squads. You can kind of get your money's worth out of them.
Yeah, I like these at the splash level of 2 to 3, maybe 4, and then I like also just running a full army of these if possible with like 1 big hero.
Yeah,
I like every possibility of running these guys.
In VC,
you're gonna get a lot of options for sure.
Get the Arctos enhancement, which I think there's going to be some fun builds there. Just that 3 attack arena. Now these guys are getting kind of spicy, but then you have to pod them up. But I think that's Hunters is kind of an underutilized tag at this point, so I'm hoping we get some more buffs for that in the future.
Certainly.
Justin says Viper enough Phoenix. These are coming. Yeah, I'm a big Viper fan. Anyone on the channel knows I talk about Vipers a lot, so I am super excited about these. And 2-3 squads of sport. Yeah, that's what Daniel's saying. All right, let's see what we got here. We haven't even talked about the GI Joe stuff. We're gonna be talking for a bit, so that's.
Yeah, we can leave the GI Joe for the last unit review.
Because they kind of all interact with each other. Now we have the Necrotech Reavers. Visually, just pretty awesome. I think these are some of my favorite sculpts in the whole game. They just look so cool.
They look amazing. I'm sad they aren't Soulborgs, but Isonic, it's still really cool to have these guys.
I wish.
And the bonding is very interesting.
It is.
I like.
It is. It's unique. I think it's very, very unique.
It's a good way to limit how strong it would be otherwise if it was just classic.
Yeah,
bonding.
I think these guys honestly are going to do pretty well with the Hellforge. I think the Hellforge is going to get a little bit more usage.
The main issue right now with the Isonic army is that it's very expensive to get the core pieces together. So this will probably do better in some of the larger point formats where you're going 500, 550. And I think at that point they're going to be a real contender where you can get Lich, Hellforge. I think you're almost always going to have to want Lich in this army.
Yeah.
Just of the versatility that he gives you. Scav is like a hit or miss depending on what the format is.
Yeah, Scav is really good, but if you whiff on those injections, he's just a fish out of water at that point.
Yeah, the dice. The army's very die dependent in the first couple of rounds, and these guys give you a lot more flexibility, and they have good stat lines too. 3 attack, 4 defense, for 65 points. That's standard.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't had a lot of 4 defense stuff, so honestly, we've been modern Heroscape has been skewing more to the fast style skirmish. So we've been doing 3, 2 defense. So it's nice to have something that's a little bit bulkier on the field.
Yeah, and you've also got scavenge parts for the ones that you want to field a couple of the heroes of. I don't know exactly how great the heroes are going to be, but I feel like running 1 or 2 of them along with these squads is going to be good.
I feel like they're going to be more draft dependent. Like honestly, in the draft formats, these guys would be really great because then you know how to build your army to counteract them. It's tough in a blind tournament format to know. Oh, do I need to lock down opponents or do I need that range element? It's just tough to.
Yeah, I can see the Cyberclaw one being probably the de facto best one.
Yeah.
Since having a 2 life 4 defense figure, 5 in melee to lock down an opponent's figure is going to be really good. And Dalen says, yeah, the Grim can also move all your Isonics, so these guys can move with it, which I think is going to be pretty nice for the Cyberclaw one.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some fun play there. I think the play isn't to like develop with Grim at first. I almost feel like you get these guys developed, and then you have switch them out, and then you have your Grim just lock down key figures or do stuff like that. Like not as a first wave, more of like a second maneuverability once they're in place. Yeah, these guys are pretty fun.
Either way you push it, it's quite nice. I think because Grim moves 6 figures, so if you field 2 squads of this a Grim, you're Isonic heroes, so you've got a pretty sizable army.
Yeah. And let's see here. There probably has a lot of fun too, expanding the Queen Carrion lore of her taking over fighters. Yeah, these guys have lots of fun stuff. It definitely seems that I was right in some of my crazy predictions. But yeah, overall, competitively, these guys are just kind of unique. I think they're like fiddly, but like in a good way, if that makes sense. Kind of like you just have to kind of know what you want to do with them. I think is the toughest part.
There's most likely an army here. It's just, I think, overshadowed by the other options that we've got currently that's coming out.
I would like this in a
more
draft pool.
Yeah, in a draft pool, I think this is great.
Yeah.
In blind battle, I can see this being an army. I just don't know exactly what that looks like yet. Possibly a scav army, and it's very format dependent.
Yeah. I'm having a tough time knowing what. Like, do I just go all in and splash these guys, or do you just kind of fill it? Like, you could just have a gold grip as a filler. I don't think it's as good as other options, but like, it's not terrible. But that's
a 30-point figure is not bad as a melee beast. I think having ways to move it is the real thing. You can inject these guys in and get a cluster of figures tied up, which is going to be really strong. So maybe the build looks more like skewed towards one squad with a bunch of Cyberclaws and your Lich and a Hellforger Viscerat.
Yeah, because the gold grips...
I like this definitely the most out of all of them.
Yeah,
surely for the
especially the fact that you can kind of summon him in if you get your guys up fast enough, you can really mess up some development early game.
They're just so tanky with 5 defense and
5 defense, 2 life it's
6 on height. What are you gonna do against it?
Yeah, like
if you've ever played against Gladiatrons, you know how annoying it is.
Gladiatrons are terrible.
And it feels so bad when they're on height and you just have to take the attacks. And I think it's 10 times worse with these guys.
Yeah.
At least on the receiving end.
These guys are going to be guys I'm going to hate to fight up against, but we'll love to play, much like Gladiatrons and Blasticrons.
Exactly.
Then we have the Gas Blade. Okay, so can you explain to me what it means that it can attack all adjacent figures, even it's not engaged with? That has given me
attacks. That is. I believe. So I believe it comes down to the ruling of engaged is for enemy figures. Okay. So I think this is saying that you have to attack all figures adjacent, including your friendly figures. Because friendly figures aren't engaged; they're just adjacent to each other.
So it's kind of.
I think it was causing a bit of confusion earlier, but it's like they're clearing up the rules.
Okay, so it pretty much just says you have to attack everyone you're next to, essentially.
Yeah, it's like Whirlwind Assault, and you have to attack everyone. Another solid one. Vortex really good on a 30-point figure.
I think this is the weakest of the bunch. I think this is like where the draft thing comes in. If you know you're fighting against like a pod, like an Arrogret army or something, where you just have to chew through so many little guys. But otherwise, I choose anything over this one. I think every time.
Yeah, I mean, it does lead into some patterns where you can boost this guy and send him in to get a Whirlwind special.
Yeah.
On a couple guys, or you can get an attack of 6 or 7 down on a figure with which, like, he's got a lot of offensive output. But I think the Cyberclaw just has it beat in versatility.
Yeah, I think this is a guy you keep if you expecting just to have to like. He's like a surprise guy. Like you have one of them in your thing if you just need to get through like piles of people. But he's not. I don't think he's the first pick.
Yeah.
Even think Gold Grips could slot in well and nine as like they're cheap comedy. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I mean, 30 points for a whirlwind special attack isn't terrible. He's more offensive. I don't think he'll last too long. There's a big difference between 3 and 4 defense.
Even taking a turn with the common, just this figure, and then the common squad. You're getting 4 attacks, potentially 5 if there's multiple adjacent attacks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think having one as a slot in your army just to deal with those matchups is really good.
He's more of a bulky hero killer, run down ultimately.
Yeah, either he kills heroes or he just mows down squads that have to stick together.
So I think he's good.
Your opponent really has to spread out once they're playing against it.
Okay, I'm convinced. I don't think you need a lot more gold grips than gas plates, though. I definitely think in your army. I want the builder to get updated so I can like actually theory craft like what.
Yeah, just start making armies.
Let's see here. We have Necrotech.
Rumor has it if you ping Chris Perkins enough, you will be able to get that.
Well, there's just so much units to program. It's like a lot.
There's so many, yeah. We'll give him a couple days. I'm sure he's on it.
We don't even have the rising. We don't even have like the dreadnoughts in. So I'm patient. I'm not paying for it, so I guess I can't complain. But I do want to start theory crafting, and then we just have your generic range. This guy is just kind of you can attack from range, but you have a 20% chance to get a wound. It's not that you don't die, but I mean range is always just good to have, and especially melee bonding.
It's a solid piece to have in there, just in case you need the range. Most of the Icenic army already comes with built-in range.
Yeah.
Viscerat. But, just having one of these is fine.
Yeah, I think it's like one...
It's the weakest of the 3, for sure.
One Geistfire, one of the Saw Blade, and then the Grip Claws, as many that fits the points, and then you're looking pretty good.
It'll depend definitely on what the meta is going to look like if you need more Saw Blades. But, yeah, I think this is probably the spread that you have.
Yeah, I like the upgrading ability. It's tough that you have to kill a guy, but you get a guy with 2 lives instead of 1, which is always... I mean, these guys are really dependent on the flow of the battle. Like, you really have to know what state you are in.
The options you get with the bonding with them are really good.
Yeah.
Just being able to flex which one you need and move the squad up. Most people are going to go after the squad before the heroes, but there are some, like the melee ones, that you basically just have to fight. Or, you've got dead figures in the water.
Before Zartan, yeah. These were supposed to be in order, but they just got all put in a random pile, so we're just going through.
We just went everywhere and we started looking at the figures.
Trees are aesthetically cool, but like I wish trees gave more competitive use in a field besides limited line of sight. But
and there's Halusha kind of.
Oh yeah, trees are starting to become a little bit more important.
There's Halusha, and I don't remember his name, but the other one of the Dryans in the Hollow box.
Oh yeah, he heals some trees.
I don't remember her name exactly either, but he heals next to trees, and I think he's really good. Like, it's nice to see that more maps are going to be using them.
Yeah.
I like the LOS that they come with. I don't have trees personally, so I'm happy to get some.
Oh, see, I've been doing this since I'm 9 years old, so I literally have 2 boxes of trees. I showed Hex Holla a portion of my terrain, and they said, "You have a problem." And I said, "Yeah, it's not any better. I don't know where to put all this stuff. Like, it's literally, it's
getting that way with me.
2-car garage, and it's filled to the.
I will leave it to you for a moment. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
No problem. I'll catch up with chat here. Let's see. Thought Baroness would get a Deadeye Dan ability. I did too, actually. Just seeing that her sculpt. I'm not super knowledgeable about GI Joe stuff, but I'm almost not like mad, but like they all look so good, like instantly. Like, they just like. I don't. It's like a complex emotion to feel like. I'm really glad they look really good and they care so much about the GI Joe stuff, and I think this wave is starting to get more into what Renegade wants to design. So I'm really happy to see it. But like, we had a couple. I mean, it's not every unit has to be perfect, but we had a couple units aesthetically that I was like, I don't really like this guy, or want to paint it. But no, the GI Joe looks awesome. I'm buying it for my dad. My dad's a big GI Joe fan, so we'll be diving into that. Um,
Apologies, I am back.
oh, welcome back, and basically, do love the range Eisenhower, especially with the Havocs have. Yeah, it's nice, kind of when you see some VC stuff ported to the game. Vortex base is nice too. Yeah, Daniel, you're convincing me about the Buzzsaw one. I definitely do like that one. Thanks for streaming, talk about these figures. Well, Suckscape, thank you for joining and elevating this stream. And
Thank you for listening.
yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'm glad I'm not editing this because you know what the problem I have with editing is that I would rather just be painting or playing the game. So
Yeah, it's not like, painting where you can just like sit in front of a TV screen or YouTube and watch
No.
something. You have to kind of like focus in on it. You can't paint and edit at the same time. That sounds like a nightmare.
no, it's. I enjoy editing, but I enjoy painting more. So it's like every time I see myself painting, I'm just like, I just want to go back and to
You
paint.
just gotta choose one of the two.
Yeah. Justin says, Christmas '05, my father gave me multiple master sets to build bigger maps and 2 or 3 roads to Forgotten Forest packs. If only it was '05 again. What a time. And editing my video right now. Ooh, the background. Your Slugscape, your videos have helped me edit and paint, so it's nice to be able to return the favor there. Oh yeah, you love editing. Editing is like a thing where I feel like I'm fairly decent at, but it's just I just don't like hearing my voice, so that's the hardest part. But all right,
Yeah,
let's.
that's definitely the hardest part of editing I've heard.
Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, into the Kyrie.
Oh yeah, we got the elites. I don't know how to stand on these guys. I keep on thinking these guys are either the most broken units of the whole game or not too good. I'm back and forth on them.
I don't think these are great, but I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised. The fact that Ziamara and Milky both exist make these not horrible units by any mean in like the competitive scene, but I don't think they're strong enough to compete with everything else. I think 105 is just a little too much.
It's a little
The
too much
speed of
points.
4
Yeah.
is really slow. There's no way to bond, so you have to be pretty order marker intensive the first couple turns, setting them up. But when they're up there, like
I think
3 defense, 2 life, they can't be instantly killed if ZMR is up there.
Yeah, it's
It feels pretty good.
these are guys I think probably the highest like order martyr management threshold. Like if you could get these guys working, I feel like they can really do some stuff. But I feel like wish they had one more move. Like that's I feel like they need Atlaga to really make them really viable. But like
Yeah, and all time they need Atlaga, and then you're getting really close to points. Like you're running Melky, you're running Ziamara and Outlaga, and then you can only afford like 2 to 3 squads of these guys depending on the format. It just kind of gets really point intensive.
yeah, but man, if you get the Milky and Ziamara set up with them, and you're pretty much almost in like a non-killable loop of like against like lower. If you're fighting against like 2 attack, 3 attack guys, like these guys can really they can stick around like because on average, 3 attack, 3 skulls, and 3 defense, you're gonna get 1 to 2 wounds, and an 8 isn't hard to roll, so you're at least minimum blocking 1 of those wounds. And then I see what's going on here.
They're deceptively tanky. I just think they're a little too overcosted.
Yeah, I think if they're 85, I think these guys I would be running them a lot. But 105 is it's also just a tough number to fit into an army. Like you really have to. You're gonna have some points on the table, or just. But
yeah, I can see maybe just running Ziamara with these only, but then again, you're still only getting 4 squads and 3 attacks compared to the 4 or 5 you're getting with the other squads coming out.
yeah,
I just think they don't stack up comparatively to them.
So I think it's gonna be keeping Milky alive. Should be such a target. Yeah, it's these guys. I think have the potential. And also, we're thinking the future pipeline. More Olar heroes could be coming in to the. You always had to think this design is pretty future proof for any Olar hero. Instantly makes them so much better. Olar
I do
Kyrie
like
here.
that their pact allows them to sort of replace their front line,
Yeah.
or get their front line up once they're soaking the 1 wounds, which is really helpful. And it kind of helps you swarm around Ziamara.
Yeah, these guys are
Uh,
just so susceptible to whiffs, like, because you don't get to move them twice if they take 2 wounds, right? Yeah, it's
receives a wound, yeah. So
yeah.
the
So
ideal scenario is you have these surrounding in the Ziamara aura. The one gets hit, you move another one up. You can continuously move your guys towards the center of the map and develop while your opponent's trying to deal with them. And you pretty much pray that you can cover Melky and Ziamara forever.
oh yeah, every wound of Milky
Uh,
is permanent. Milky is pretty has a lot of offensive potential at this point, though. 2 attacks of 5 with healing is not. But
I do like Melky. I think she's very good, and it's nice. But having to take order markers off of these guys to move her
yeah,
feels really good.
it's tough because I'd rather have 3 attacks of 3 any day of the week compared to 2 attacks of 5.
Yeah, this is definitely a higher skill army, is what I believe.
Yeah,
But
I think in a limited like rule of X format, these guys could do pretty well. They're not gonna be able
yeah,
to.
in low common amount formats, they're gonna
Yeah,
do pretty good.
rule of 8, I think they do pretty good. Rule of 9 type of deal, but just all cheese. I don't think they got what it takes. But no, not everything should be cheese viable. I see a fun army here
Exactly.
though. They took
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I'm happy to play with the 2 Kyrie. Like I said, I love Melky. I'm
like
happy to be able to actually put her in an army.
yeah, both those guys were
Have her
kind
feel
of
really
like
strong.
they were kind of. We were talking about this before we started streaming. Like, I don't like Milky maybe in a fun format. Like, if I wasn't like trying to be hyper competitive, but now I could kind of build an army around them, and I don't feel like I'm wasting points. So
Yeah,
I'm
she went from a cleanup unit to actually a solid piece of the army.
yeah. So I appreciate that. No, I think it's a well-designed squad. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. I just think there's just some stronger. If we're talking purely competitive, I think there's some stronger options. But I like when units become. I can dust them off the shelf. Yeah, every wound on Milky is permanent. It is the biggest kind of crux of the army, and you kind of do fall apart at that point. Let's see here. Just jump around. Oh, we got dungeon tiles. That's exciting.
I'm
Shadow.
excited for these.
The common man can now have dungeons. That's pretty. That's pretty big. My favorite part. This is
Shadow
more.
spaces being in competitive maps is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, shadow
'Cause
space.
now we have jungle and shadow.
It's the most interesting and fun to play with. I never feel bad like when there's shadow in the field. I'm like, oh cool. There's some tactical choices to make here. The funniest thing on the stream was just watching all the presenters not try to say D&D. They were very careful to watch. It was just funny watching them. Like, these are cavernous dungeon tiles, which fully
Legally
understand.
distinct from other IPs.
These are cavernous dungeon tiles, not to be confused with Underdark dungeon tiles.
Exactly. Trademark right reserved.
But no, I mean
But,
this is gonna be great. Just dungeon tiles is the best visual piece out there, so I'm excited, and it's a piece that has minor benefits to D&D units, which you always could use that little boost for some of those units.
and there's a slight buff with Glyri with these, as most maps are built with Shadow
yeah.
being lower. Since Glyri get the extra defense, you end up with 5 defense Glyri if you're getting attacked from height, which is really strong.
Yeah.
So depending on how maps are built, Glyri might be a bit better. Depending, cases pending. We'll see what the maps end up getting turned out are.
Yeah, I like the small rock outcrops. I think it's just going to add a lot of visual distinction. I think in terms of visually, having a 24 hex dungeon with a 24 hex like black asphalt, it's going to look so cool. Like, there's some cool stuff we can do with that. Speaking of that, we have the Joe asphalt and concrete pack with the wall. I mean it's pretty nothing new here, but I think some map builders. It's nice to have more pieces in your box.
More terrain's never a bad thing.
The walls are
There's no
actually
gate lead.
pretty interesting because that's a pretty solid line of sight blocker right there.
Yeah, it's akin to the Rise of the Valkyrie ruins that you get.
Yeah.
They're not as small or thin as the ruins you get with like AOA that only cover 2 hexes. These look like they cover a good 4 4 or 5 hexes.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see them being a good LOS blocker for the smaller figures.
Also, this is more not related to competitive, but it's like I like to sometimes build a map for every general and like have like the lava map for Akar and the trees for Ular. Now we kind of have like some sci-fi terrain for Vidar, which is kind of nice. If you want,
Yeah, I do like the look of the black and white terrain.
it's not
I
as
haven't seen a lot of
distracting
maps use it yet.
as the like warehouse ruin, where you're like, this doesn't feel like this could be in Valhalla. This feels like this could be like a Vidar ruin type of deal if you're not like a GI Joe fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're dipping it. Let's see. Oh, let's finish Heroscape Classic, and then we'll dip into the GI Joe. Oh, we got the Skodire.
Yeah, you can hit the squad
Yeah,
and the bug. I guess we'll do the squad first because it's
I'm trying to
more
find...
integral. To
there we
what's
go.
Going on.
There we go.
So many pictures, so much new stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, Skodire Infantry. I love that they're Einar. I think that's a good change. Really, one Einar needs new factions, as humans are a lot more tricky. Like historical humans are a lot more tricky to put in the game in this modern context, and also bugs are the most organized and caste-based creatures out there. So
it makes sense. Like most of the VC units that are bugs are Einar. It fits pretty well. And the card itself is really good.
Yeah.
I feel like this is another competitor for some of the stronger armies.
Yeah, bugs got
and you got a lot of all-time synergy too.
Yeah, I like that because a lot of the Age of Annihilation units were designed with like all things contemporary in mind, which I appreciate. I really appreciate that you can run Nagrubs with Thyraxes, but also this Renegade doesn't own those, and there's some hoops they have to jump through to allow that, and also you just want to get new stuff. So I like that we have multiple options for different units. Now you can run Skodire with the Dragoon or you just have options.
Yeah, you got Thraxus in Contemporary, you got Soja in All Time, which is very nice. It might be a little bit overcosted in All Time, but Delta is a lot better. And even all the comments that come with this, I think this army is just really solid. It has the problem that Tanukis do, where they're so low point cost that by the time your army's filled out, you're probably missing like 100 points worth of figures.
Yeah, you're putting.
You can't really add anything because you're at the figure limit.
I think these guys are stronger than Tanukis, though. For sure,
they're way stronger than Tanuki by far.
I almost feel like they're undercosted a little bit.
Yeah, 2 attacks pretty rough.
But they go up to 3 so easily. They
get the swarm. Once one's destroyed, you move other ones 5 spaces, which is really good. And taking a turn with 2 common bugs, also, you're getting 5 basically attacks if you're able to get them up there, or 4 if you're using something like Maladrix also, which works. A bug ball even works. You get insane turns where you can like 7 attack people.
Yeah.
With a bug ball with its special. These guys just have a lot of use, and it's like the Isonex in which you're probably gonna run like most of one of the bug and then a few of the other ones.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of versatility with this army, and depending on the figure limit of the format, I think they're gonna be pretty strong.
Yeah, I think these guys are
all-time also with Marcus, where pretty much your entire army gets the boost.
Oh yeah, they move. They can move, get the attack. Yeah, soldiers are eating good. Soldiers were already a strong class, but now they're just kind of like, now it's the tag to have.
Oh yeah, you can also move a Soja or Ants and BC with their ability, which is pretty nice.
Mellifera. I honestly think there might be a Mellifera build out there, but I haven't thought of one. But yeah, I'm hoping we get some more insect heroes in the game too. There's just I work in pest control, so I know a lot about bugs. So I always get excited when I see one in the game.
I totally forgot Duke buffs these guys too, which is very funny. I doubt it's ever gonna come up.
Wait, who buffs these guys?
Duke from GI Joe.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude.
So he does buff them. Again, it probably won't matter as much. I don't think you run Duke in this army if it's competitive.
Order marker management fiddly. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on Duke. We'll definitely talk about him when we get to him. I'm not looking forward to running Duke in all time. Yeah, just really good abilities, really easy to parse, understand what's going on here. I mean, ultimately you get 5 activations, which is really great. And like the bug ball was good in kind of the early stages of contemporary, But
Yeah,
now,
Bug Ball was their 130-point filler that
yeah,
was really hard to take out, and now this thing gets to go on the front line.
yeah, it turns
instead
the
of
Bug
getting
Ball
ganked.
from like a defensive unit to an aggressive unit at this point. Like now you're running Bug Ball, you kind of want to like attack more than like hold on to a place more. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I think these guys will be easy to take down though. Like I could see, like I'm glad they don't have any defensive abilities. I think they'd be crazy with like a.
Yeah, I think they're with the points that they're at. This is probably the closest you can get to balancing them and not making them too impressive.
Yeah, let's see what the chat's saying here. They also have a fun bout, or so few numbers, so I had to look elsewhere for soldiers. Yeah, no, thought they did a really good job of tying it thematically as well as narratively. A moment of silence for the fallen samurai, but now we got cool bugs, which I will say I'm not looking forward to painting lots of squads of these guys. Just based off my experience with the Dragoon, they just have so many little tiny parts, but that's a moot point. I'll get them done. But they're just I don't like all like the various chitinous bits and all these kind of small details on the inside. But such as the
There's a
life.
fair point. We didn't really talk much about the Thraxus bonding with it. I think that build's also going to be pretty strong.
I think Thraxus is going to see a lot more use. It's really hard to justify Thraxus's points in contemporary. Like it's nice if you can get that frenzy, but it's just a lot of points.
Yeah, 195, I believe, is what it is just too much
Yeah.
to have a figure on its own. But with bonding, now it becomes a pretty solid mainstay option, where you're just running Thraxus and as many Skydor as you can fit. I don't know if that's better than running the common bugs, but it's at least an option that I like having.
Yeah. I like having just options. I think that's the theme of these releases is just options. Like it's really going to be. I was mentioning this. Like it's going to be hard to predict what the meta is because there's so many options for builds now. Like it's going to be honestly like it's going to be hard to know what we're getting into like a blind tournament match. Let's see. Let's talk about the bugs. We got the spitting hive soldier, which I think is really interesting. Attacks a figure destructible. Oh, I like that it works with destructible object. That's fun. Usually things ignore that.
The really nice thing with these guys is they don't have to do damage to be useful. You just hit a high target or high value target with the first turn.
I just kind of glanced over this guys. You just have to attack them. Like you
just have to attack it, and then it's until the next time someone reveals an order marker. So it doesn't work with the knit switches, which is good. Because I think that would be a little crazy. But you take a turn with this first, you spit on something that you want to kill, lower its defense, you maybe get a wound in, and then you swarm it with everything else and kill it.
Yeah, that's
really good with the assassin bug.
That's pretty volatile.
It's got a high attack.
Because then you get the bug boost for being engaged, and then so you're running one less defense, one attack. Yeah.
And it's also a range figure. You're most likely getting 3 attack. It's pretty slow, which is the main drawback of it.
Yeah.
But you're activating it every turn. You're most likely getting to a position to set up. You can also move it with the Skydor's Destruction special.
That's pretty. Yeah, these guys are pretty potent here.
I started pretty low on this, but I think it's probably one of the better ones.
For some reason, the other Scodier are all the way over here. All right, this one I think is interesting. That attack of 4 and move of 7 is really.
These guys are the aggressive piece that I think the Icenic ones want to be.
Yeah.
But they're really good at just murdering heroes. Like, you get this guy up there, you put it next to their hero, they have to deal with this thing. You have an extra layer of defense with Concealment 12.
Yeah.
Still have 3 defense. Good luck shooting them because Concealment 12 is pretty easy if you're rolling.
Yeah, Concealment 13 on Fia Bonnie is saved me so many times. For some reason, the Concealment power is just.
That's one. This is the
against range. That's even better. So these guys are good glyph holders too. You just put them on a glyph and.
It is non-adjacent. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, you can put these on glyphs, and they can't get damaged. They're really resilient to range, and they just come in and they kind of just take out whatever they need to.
Yeah, they're just the assassins. Yeah, they are. That moves. Yeah, these guys are. That's kind of crazy.
They're a good frontline melee. You can take your second turn with them after spitting on something you went dead, and then try to attack something.
What's the burster's the last one, right?
Yeah, the burster. I think I saw it in the slideshow stuff.
Yeah,
it's like in the middle of somewhere.
All right. Well, I will scroll. For some reason, these are. That might be the
They
one.
go to the right just a bit more, maybe.
And that's a Cebu. Let's see here. I don't think I got the burster, but
I can just describe the burster.
yeah.
Real quick.
What's the burster do? I actually don't remember what the burster does.
I'll head over to Discord real quick. It's 30 points like the other one. It has Coward's Reward like the Knights do, where it gets 2 dice to attack against leaving engagements, which is really nice because you want to push this thing as far up as possible towards your opponents. Because the acid sacks, when it dies, you roll the d20 for each figure next to it. 9 or higher, the figure takes a wound, which there's about a 55% chance. So it's a really good chance that triggers. It's got 6 move too, which is really nice. You can really get him in there. 2 attack, 4 defense. It's really sturdy for its point cost. And then, if it's next to your opponent's figures, if they don't have you disengaged, they're never taking leaving engagement. So you basically have just trapped their guys there.
It's kind of like the Bloodburster, right? Like that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like the Bloodburster thralls, but you can only move one of them a turn. But with the off bonding, with the off movement you get from when the Sky Door is destroyed, you can move these up to sort of tie down figures, and I think that's really strong.
Yeah.
If they don't have disengaged, these are going to be a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
They just look so good on paper, and I feel like they're gonna be good.
I think it's gonna come down to. I think for just bread and butter armies, it's gonna come down to Orcs and Skodire. I think is what we're gonna see a lot of.
Yeah, there's gonna be, I think, 1 or maybe 2 other ones.
Yeah. There's some fun builds if people are running GI Joe and stuff like that. But in terms of just heroes, you just want to run some squads, run some heroes. Common heroes are really getting buffed up this generation.
Yeah, we got plenty of good ones.
I was hesitant on multi-life, common life heroes at first, but I've grown on it. Now I've got like appropriate wound markers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like second nature basically to me at this point. So I think either the Skydoor army is kind of like a split of a couple of the bugs. Maybe you're doing like a spitter, an assassin or 2, another spitter, and then filling out with bursters, or you're just running all the bursts, and you're just having, your opponent have the worst day of their life, just watching all their figures die to acid sacks.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and they're fun. Like they're not like, I like when a unit is strong and fun. Like I hate going up against Death Reavers because they're strong but not like fun. You're a Stinger player. I think Stingers are like right on the line. Like Stingers are just a little bit too strong. I don't mind playing Stingers in Delta, but classic.
Yeah,
Stingers.
I can definitely agree that Stingers are too strong. But anything that's consistent, I enjoy.
Yeah.
Anything that just has like a way to just completely mess it up because you want to get greedy, I also like.
Yeah.
Because I play extremely greedily.
Oh, you roll for Stinger Drain nearly every time, don't you?
I don't roll for nearly every time, but a decent while. If it's gonna get me ahead, I'm gonna roll for it.
Yeah.
Like, I could go on and on about my thesis for Stinger Draining, but I'll save it for another time.
Let's see here. What's going on in the chat? Favorite common bugs. I think that was referring to the assassin one, but I could be wrong. Get the movement boost from Marcus. Yeah, the bugs are fast with Marcus. It's not good someone who plays ST and the bugs.
8 move assassin, crazy.
Are the most fun of the new stuff. You go mostly lurkers and spitters and 1 burster. Huh, interesting. Dan's very excited about the Skodires. Warpig wants to paste a burst and Hive Soldier. Yeah, I'm excited about painting the common bug heroes. I like when a unit has a lot of flavor but not a lot of color units to put onto it. And that metallic, there's some fun stuff you can do there. Long live the common heroes and amen slug. Okay, so we got the ship terrain. Do you think we're going to see ship terrain in competitive maps, or is that more of a fun thing?
I'm mixed on it. I think putting the ship down is fine. Like, having the ship be there as like a sort of LOS blocker is fine. I don't think the cannons will be placed on most competitive maps, simply because they seem just really hard to balance out.
What's the range of the cannon?
I think it's 8. Like, it's absurdly far.
Oh, wow. That's pretty far, yeah.
I want to say it's either 8 or maybe 5. That's a big difference, I know, but I don't remember exactly. but I know it's a special attack of 3 that has an explosion of 1, so
Okay.
it's pretty impactful depending on where you put it. The problem is I feel like if you put the cannons on the map, it's either going to be too strong or it's just not going to matter.
Yeah, I hope map makers decide to engage the cannons, but I definitely see the community not embracing it on the competitive level. I think it would be fun to have them kind of in really bad positions or like next to lava or something. But I don't foresee it. I think wood tiles will see a lot more use because they act like roads,
Blue
right?
tiles are pretty cool. I believe they do act like roads.
So you get that
So I think
movement
those will be
bonus.
pretty nice. I like
Yeah.
the new tile type coming out. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, I've been wanting wood tiles for so long, so it's nice to have those. My one kind of gripe with the ship is I wish the Thrakus in front was kind of like a wooden, because I feel like it takes up a bit of the pirate ship nature of it, but I also appreciated that it's there. Like
Yeah, it kind of looks like they just slapped the mold onto the
Yeah.
ship, but I also think it's kind of nice that way. It's kind of a nod back to the figure.
Yeah. It's kind of like I feel like when I had my hive, I wanted to pop them open and just get like the little drones inside to add to my army, which you can't
Yeah.
do. I want to like pop off the Rakus and just add them to my army, but you can't.
Like, yeah, there's Heracles. Yeah, I think this will be a fun thing to mess around with.
It's cool.
I'm
It's-
not very big into the map building, so I don't exactly know how it's gonna go.
I think ladders, the one move ladders, will at least in semi-casual maps, will see a lot more use. You can build taller maps a lot easier now, which is nice. But
It's better than the old ladder rules, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
but that's one thing competitive maps hate is height. So probably not too much use there. Let's see what else we got. Prevalence of common heroes is going to put a dampener on Maladrix. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. Is these common heroes are immune to a lot of special abilities, but they get to act just as strong. And wood tiles just make me want a Western Frontier fort with palisade walls. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got the
I'm
Revenants.
not giving anyone ideas, but you do have sand and you do have a plane. You can make a Wild West map if you so desire.
That's true.
With enough of these.
Johnny Shotgun stonks have just gone up.
Exactly, through the roof.
The figurehead being a callback to one of the scenarios mentioned in a ship called the Griffin's Fancy. It's fun for us lord nerds. Oh yeah. No, I appreciate it. That's why I'm not like upset by it. But I also then have the problem that if you buy multiple ships, then you have multiple figureheads, which that's kind of the point of the figurehead. Is to make your ship unique. But it's pedantry. The ship's awesome. It's for a person who does a lot of filming of Heroscape. I am so excited about it because it's just the perfect background. Yeah, I didn't know the Revenants are still flying until I looked at them later. I feel like the Revenants are better than the Elites, like in terms of cost and usage. I don't know how good they are.
I like a decent amount. Time will tell if they're going to be on par, but on paper these look like they're pretty fine. Like, I compare these instantly to Phantom Knight.
Yeah, that's a
They're
good.
70-point stealth flyers for 6 move, which is already really fast. You can get them around the map everywhere. They'll most likely always have 3 attack because you're going to be wounding a figure each time you bond. 3 defense is weaker than them, but I still think they're pretty strong. They're a bonding Phantom Knight squad with less attack, which is still fine. Like, I think what's gonna decide if they're better if they have better bonding heroes. 'Cause
Yeah.
the ones they have right now are solid.
There's
but
some
they're
gaps
not the
there.
best.
There's definitely like, oh, what's the witch going to be like? You're going to get a witch in the future. Are we just renaming War Witch? Are we going to get like a Kimoshi for them, which would be kind of fun, like some kind of. There's a lot of room for witches, I think, to boost them and do some fun stuff. It's a trope we really haven't fully explored.
I do like the idea of getting like Mr. X to 4 attack with a life drain, moving in there, just start taking out figures. So eventually it has to be dealt with, and then Kilkarax comes in with 5 attack and life drain, and starts murdering stuff too. And then you've got your I don't remember their names, Nuclei,
The
or whatever they're
Nuclei.
called. Yeah, the abomination that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Is also going to be pretty strong. I think these guys have a shot at being one of the armies that you play. I think they're really good into the bugs. I think they'll suffer against like Glyri or the other more ranged options that can kind of pick them off.
These guys, I see
But
getting
I
the
still think
biggest
they're solid.
boost over time pretty much if we get like one more solid undead Revna warrior, like that's actually like you want to put this, like something different than Kilcorax, because still think isn't the best figure. Something that's just kind of like something with a passive aura for these guys that you can move with Grave Rim. Then these guys are cooking, some kind of.
Yeah, I want to say these are deceptively strong.
Yeah.
I think they just need a little bit more, just a tiny bit more, and then they get pushed onto the same level as everything else.
Yeah, I think their kit's good. I think the heroes that they have to work with aren't good. I think that's where it's kind of...
Kilcrix's value goes up a bit more now that
Yeah.
common squads are here, where you can teleport a lot more to her, so that you have basically an engine for feeding off life. They start, struggling when it comes down to like disengaged targets or other things like that.
Yeah.
But they're still pretty solid. I would watch these with a careful eye.
Oh yeah, no, I'd
your acolytes and grave grims accordingly. I think you run like a 1-in-1 in this army.
These guys have some complex synergy. Like you can run these guys with acolytes, grave grim, and you can do some setup like wombo combos with these guys. You can run them with Knuckle of A, and you pretty much always get a free wound if you're damaging thing. Free heal, an extra attack. Because once they get that boosted, yeah, these guys are gonna have height. I agree with you. I think once some people start fielding these and doing some solid army comps, these guys will probably be a menace. So aesthetically, I'm going to touch on this, is that I love the designs. I think they're all so cool and unique. But also that means as a painter, this is like literally having 3 color palettes at the table at the time. So it's like it's going to be hard to kind of factory paint all these guys because they're all so very unique.
Easy solution, buy 5 boxes, paint all the minions, then paint all the sentinels, then paint all the iron iron. And you just think about the wallet cost later.
Yeah. Derek says, "Hey, welcome Derek to the chats. Fixonia, let's see, pair him with Grave Grims, Crypt Fiends along Miserex, Kilcrex. Yeah, it's a pretty fun army there. They lose to Gretz. Yeah, I imagine that Gretz would annihilate these guys. And also additional Revno Warriors would give Miserex more options for... Yeah, we just need one more good Revno Warrior, and then I think this army is like locked in.
Yeah, I think it's got the legs to stand on for sure.
Ooh,
I'll have to do a lot of testing with them. I really want to do a lot of testing, but
Daniel says
as of right now, I'm not sure.
Paint them as Ghost 2, Stealth Flying fits so well. Ooh, I'm definitely going to paint a batch in Phantom Night green. It gives them fluorescence, some like Lord of the Rings ghostly appearance.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Minor
green or blue.
Minor nitpick. I think it's like, why are they called Revenants? Because they follow Revna. It's like it's a little awkward to say Revenants or Revna, but that's
yeah, it doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. But
I get what they're going for. But
yeah.
Let's see here. It's a cooler figure, just like the acolytes. I just painted. I actually just posted a video of me painting the acolytes according to more of their card color. Because Revna keeps on trying to steal the red from Ukkar, and I'm like, nah. She's kind of like, I like how she has like the maroon, burgundy, purples of the card art.
Kind of like slowly grabbing it.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, a side thing to mention is no Ukkar. So these waves. Let's see. Do we have any classic stuff for me? Oh, we have Savaris. I think Savaris is pretty good, especially once we talk about Thorman. But this is a strong kit here for 110 points.
Yeah, I think Savaris is fine. It reminds me a lot of the old one, which is exactly what it's supposed to. The 4 attack is really nice. Boosting the attack to 4 and getting 2 attacks is pretty strong. He's almost always going to have height. And you play this as you do Savaris. You keep it at max range, and once they get closer, you just start throwing more attacks in. And eventually, they're just going to lose too many figures. Once he's right up there, you're getting 3 attacks of 4 or 5. That's a really good amount of dice.
Yeah, this guy is really susceptible to buffs. Like, you just buff up his attack at all, it's exponential. Like, he's, even QQ9 doesn't get 3 attacks of 5. Like,
yeah. The one negative about him is that he is so frail.
Yeah.
2 defense, Savaris is going to die the second they engage.
Yeah.
But if you're, using him as a 110 piece to sort of like snipe your opponent's army, I think it's going to be strong.
Yeah, you just kind of Holt's development as if he's really good into like a melee. Like the Gruts, I would be afraid if this guy was just in the back picking me off as I'm approaching forward, or just we have a lot more spammable armies that will not want to be taking 3 attacks of 5.
And also against Vanox, I think he's a little bit worse. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna get chewed down by those.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
quick,
they're gonna eat him apart.
It's I think the one matchup you auto lose, and then
Yeah.
I think everything else he does pretty okay. If he's better than the OG, I think
I would say
yes.
yes. OG is simple. I think the OG is the most.
The effectiveness of the OG was that you get 2 attacks at 9 range for 3, which was really good. You only get the 2 attacks at 6 range, but that's still usually fine enough. If you're on height, most things can't reach you unless they have 6 move. And you can still move him backwards if you feel like he's out of position.
Yeah,
I feel like
more options, I'd say.
He roughly fills what old Savaris does, and I think if anything, they're more comparable to each other.
Yeah.
It's just one or the other. I think the 3rd attack is the thing that puts it being better than.
I think it's
Savaris.
the attack of 4. Like now Savaris before previously was kind of limited to killing approaching squads or some weaker heroes. Now he can rip apart your Q11 quite easily if you win the initiative switch and just get up close. Like he's ripping apart your king unit in an army if he's there. So I think you lose a lot of that simplicity, and sometimes simplicity is the best advantage you can have in a unit for versatility. He's very if you're relying on initiative switches with this guy to really make big use of him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna see the most highly competitive play.
No.
Unless you really need a ranged part in your army. But I still think he's a fine unit to run in certain events where you would want one.
I do agree. Someone mentioned aesthetics. I do wish that he had a bit. I get he had the wood arm, but I think even just posing or even like just some minor changes, I think would have been good to update him.
I won't lie. I completely thought they were just gonna give him triple attack and then just change nothing else on the card. And I thought it would have been really funny because the pose was so similar.
Yeah,
I kind of see the nod that they're going since it's pretty similar to old Savaris.
Yeah, Savaris didn't really go through a lot. I think I'm glad they took effort to at least make some changes to him. So
he's just here.
He's just here. He's classic. He's iconic. Again, it's kind of just that nostalgia.
It's no done in a card.
Yeah,
it'll do.
Yeah, it's fine. It's now you can bring your old Savaris. He's the easiest guy to proxy. Is the advantage of that is you just bring your old Savaris and just say he's the new one. Let's see, use Savaris or Rush Ken.
I'm sure that'll go over great in the tournament.
Start zone. And he got 9 kills before he died. I still lost the game. Yeah, Savaris is like he either just like will win you the game in the first couple rounds, or it's just a waste of order markers and you're like, man, why didn't I just develop?
High risk, high reward.
Counter to long bow. Yeah, I think also that's something to talk about. Is we have a lot of stationary, 7 range boosted attackers, giants and Ordo. He's a good one to go into, but unfortunately, like he loses that double attack, which is where he hurts because then he gets into their threat range and he has no resistance against range, so like he loves the melee army.
They don't counter the longbow archers
No.
as much as you might think. Just because they move up and they take the shots, you have 3. He's so squishy is the problem.
Yeah.
I will say, if they ever do a sort of Revna hero that changes the alignment of one of the guys, the Acolyte army will be super cool with him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a really fun army. But
yeah, Warpig. Yeah, he lost his arm to actually a fellow Ular unit, Lucia. So they were just kind of fighting, and he got taught a lesson, which is fun if you know Savaris' lore and stuff like that. Violence rounds. I do wish he had some kind of like healing mechanic or something kind of tied in with that fine arm. I think it would have made him a lot more unique. I would even give him an extra 10-15 points for some kind of ability to heal like once per round.
Ability.
Like that the growth provides. Like if he had that on him.
Yeah, some sort of like survivability ability.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Help him deal with his 2 defense 4 life.
Yeah, but odds are he'll get a wound on something if you play him right.
Hmm.
Let's see what else we got here. I think that might. Oh, we have the paint set. I'm sure you don't have any opinions on that. I like that they bundled Decker. I don't like that they
Yeah,
called it
that's cool.
a starter set. Like it's missing some key components to be a full-on starter set. Just you don't have your primary colors or ability to go on. I think a better name would be intro set, but I think this is a great way for her to get some people to hobby. It honestly has a bit better selection of some things than the actual paint set, and it needs white. These paint sets just need white in them because then you can have so many more colors and
Yeah,
options.
you get a lot more difference with it. I
But
think the only class or the only regular escape that we haven't covered is the common hero with
oh, Nucleve.
what's it called? Yeah, Knucklebait. I think that's the only one. And then we have the Kraken and
Oh yeah,
Thorman.
Thorman. Yeah, the big ones to talk about. Saving those for last. Um, yes, he bonds with the Revenants. He heals, which is nice because he gets a wound to attack. But his wound also influences his Wither Breath special attack, and he's a
I
7
think the
move, 4 defense
Knuckly
unit.
is fine. It's a pretty decent figure to run in that army. It's like a one of. I don't think you want to really spam these guys out.
No.
3 attack, 4 defense, 3 life is very tanky. 7 moves really good. You've effectively got what is it? 3
Range of-
spaces
range of
for, like,
3, yeah.
a threat range of 10.
Yeah.
It can hit multiple figures. This can put out some decent damage, and it's the thing you're gonna most likely want to wound first, so you can kind of set up those 3 attacks. Hopefully it gets surrounded and only takes 1 or 2 wounds, and then you can crack back with it.
Well, it's nice because he can just get
pretty
wounded
solid.
before he even takes a turn with the Revenants. So he's already going with that 3 attack, that range special, and then he just heals it. This guy plays a lot like the Ice Troll. Like he's kind of got a little bit of that.
Yeah, I feel like he plays like a combination of Ice Troll and the Feral Troll, where
Yeah.
you want him to be aggressive, but he's got the survivability of, none of them because they both have low defense. This guy can just soak up some early attacks.
Yeah.
Is a good thing that you want your opponent to focus on while the rest of your stealth flyers are beating over the other half of their army.
Any unit that can grab a cliff round 1 is always something to be aware of, and you can also enhance him with Morgaloth to just. I mean, if you're playing VC, I'm glad demons are getting like official, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to run some armies again. The whole Revna faction needs a lot of testing.
Yeah,
it's not as easy to theory craft this on paper. with these
No,
guys.
they have so many interactions. Like, do you run? Like, it's like how they cross each other so often. Like, you can run acolytes with this guy, but you don't really need to. Like, but he can
Yeah,
kill.
you can have an acolyte with it. You can kill one to heal. You can use it through the breath wave, or you can just get the rerolls off of it for defense.
Yeah,
I feel like, you want one squad of acolytes in this army just to get the extra defense before initiatives.
well, he's nice because he can kill a whole squad of acolytes in one turn. Like, if you're lucky on it, like that's
Yeah, you can set it up so that you just breath attack your acolytes and get 2 of them down.
yeah. So I think he's for 50 points. You don't expect him to do too much, but I think what he does is pretty good. Daniel,
For 50 points, I like what he does.
Yeah, the Nuck bio is probably one of the favorites in the wave. Yeah, that was really fun. I read through all the bios. I was trying to imagine if anyone's seen Skeleton Crew, the Star Wars show, kind of like the Nucklefee, kind of like the very. Let's. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Let's go find Thorman if I saved him. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this guy is a discussion in of itself here.
He's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we got a Valkyrie officially in Heroscape. I like the idea that he became a pirate solely because he already had the existing eye patch. So like, hey, the pirate life is free.
I mean, it fits. Yeah, might as well assume the role. I really like that he's got the pirate captain and king. That gives a really good buff to the pirate armies because this guy's a pretty good powerhouse when it comes to just fighting. He throws a lot of dice out. Doesn't have much defense. But with the way pirates are already set up, Ragtag Armada is going to be really strong.
Yeah, this guy is like a black hole of theory crafting here. Like you approach this guy and there's so many different. It's hard to even know what to build around him. Just the ability to bond with any hero, right? Like any.
Yeah, I think it's any other hero as long as it hasn't been the same general. So you run an army with like a Fen Hydra and a Q9, and you're getting like 4 attacks every turn, and it feels really gross. Or you're just getting good value pieces that you're using. Like you get to bond with Raylan.
Yeah, Raylan.
There's a bunch of really good cases that he's got, and he's really expensive, which is a shame because it kind of limits what else you can do past that point. But it's already powerful enough that you kind of have to put him at 180. Like he's doing stuff that you can't do normally in the game.
I get when people say this feels like, a unit that you would see submitted for like a C3G, like the hero, the heroes and stuff like that. Like he's a strong unit, but I think he's balanced by stats. I think if he had like busted stats, he would feel like
his stat line keeps him completely in check.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like that he just has a gun too. I think it just cracks me up. Thorman's special attack
the best
is
way to
gun.
play this guy will be sitting at a range using his ranged attack, having to swashbuckler if completely necessary, and just taking a turn with all your other busted heroes.
Yeah, like this guy with Milky is like Kyrie armies are a lot more interesting. I've been like just thinking about this guy like so much. There's so like this is
the one I just kind of put on the back burner. I'm like, I'll deal with him later.
Yeah, like
I'm more of a squadscaper. But I like what he can do.
Because you're just, I mean, if contemporary, at least you have kind of know what he's going to go with. But if you're all-time format with this guy, it's just like what's he could be running Sedema, he could be running Concan, Ordo, Pod. Like it's just like there's just a lot of crazy
things.
So
many
he can
things
do.
You can do with him, and I like that it's very open-ended.
Yeah.
I don't like that he costs basically 40% of the army, but it's the price you got to pay for being able to do this cool
I'm
stuff.
glad he at least has 8 life. That like at least makes it worthwhile. If he has like running like a 5 life 3/3, I would be really disappointed in him. But
yeah, that'd feel really off.
But 8 life guarantees he's at least living 2-3 rounds of concentrated attack.
I don't think it's contemporary viable yet. That could very well change. I think just not being able to take the same turn with the same hero is going to limit him a lot.
Yeah.
There's a few best heroes that you want to take a turn with in this, and most of the heroes have bonding that only triggers with their order markers.
See, I haven't even heard people talk about carry, pods. Like, no one's even been talking about Brunak or Thrakus just with him. Like, you get a lot more utility in that regard. Like, it's almost scary. Like, you can take a turn with Thrakus, move up Raylan, and that's all you really need to do at that point. Like, you are set. You don't need any more order markers in Raylan.
You have your Raylan set for the rest of the game. And there she is.
Like, there's some... This is like a thing that if I was at ScapeCon and I saw someone running this, I'd be like, oh no, I'm in for a rough time. Like...
Yeah, like, if somebody's running this, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like. Or they're just doing it for the fun of it. And like I said, also in the Pirate Army, it's pretty good. You get to take a turn with your captains and your...
oh yeah, I didn't even think that. He just works as a pirate captain.
Yeah, he works as the bonder. He works with, knaves, with dreadnoughts.
That's crazy.
I don't think he's the best option exactly for them, but it's an option you can go with, and then it gives you some neat synergy.
I actually hope we get some more pirate heroes to work in his ragtag armada, because really we
got Fia and Einar, Dorum and Aquila, Vidar for Admiral, Killian and Revna.
Oh yeah, he could work with...
There's the Utgard one.
I guess if you want to use all your points, you could just use him and Admiral EJ, and then that's your pretty much most of your army right there. But you could do get that.
It's a decent chunk.
Yeah, maybe a bonder or something. But yeah, that's crazy. Swashbuckler is great if you get encroached. Yeah, he's an interesting unit. I think there is a lot of tech here. Like I feel even more so. Like everyone was like trashing on the Tanukis. I was like, the Tanukis just have so much tech built into their toolkit.
The Tanukis were like the sleeper hit of the century.
Yeah,
this is like Tanukis like had a bonding ability with everything in the game, and they just threw it in here.
I've been trying to find ways to break it, but so far it seems pretty solid. It doesn't create any loops or anything like that, which is nice. If you ignore you have to errata Ular and what's the Ashigaru leader, but those have been
I know
errata
what you're talking
to
about.
prevent some unseemly things happening, which is good. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready to acknowledge that this figure exists. See, I am a loving fan of like I've been wanting. I've always envisioned Thorman as a general in his own right, which I guess he is. Like this is something that has been like in the back of everyone's mind for decades. Is someday we're going to have a Valkyrie in the game, some way or somehow it's going to happen. And I think in terms of, I kind of wish that I don't know. I think everyone would be really upset, but I wouldn't mind having like Valkyrie at this level to play with. That like Jandar really just more unifies your whole Jandar army together. But I could definitely see that leading to some unfortunate power creep. Um,
Yeah, I have no clue of any of the lore of Scape. I usually just buy it because the figures look cool when I play the game. So I was just like, oh, this is a nice figure to mess around with.
it's a
But
cool
I can
figure.
see there's a lot of contention with what's going on
It's
figure
a
wise, design wise. How you design someone who's literally a general, what
yeah
unaffiliated means.
yeah.
But
He's.
hopefully it's gonna end up
I'm excited to paint.
working out.
I'm gonna do a really like pro level paint job on Thorman. I think he deserves it. Let's find the Kraken here. Oh, jeez, the Kraken. This
Kraken.
this this thing is insane.
Yeah, I started off in the camp that I thought this thing was garbage.
Yeah,
I thought it was horrible. I'm like, why would you ever play this thing? It's 100 points for like a dinky little figure. And then I started thinking more about it, and I'm like, okay, you get one every hero activation of an order marker. Most of the contemporary ones, activate off the hero. And then you can use your bonding squads to, take a turn with this. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good.
yeah.
It gives you a lot of utility for 100 points.
The synergy with
5
him and
figures.
Thorman is just something I haven't even fully explored yet. But it's
Yeah, I haven't looked at it either. It just looks super cool. You can make it a pirate crew,
oh yeah,
which
that's
is
what
also cool,
yeah
and give it 4 attack. The one thing it doesn't have, like, you have to play this very carefully. You can't just, start spawning Kraken and expect it to be really good. You have
Yeah.
to kind of wait until you get towards the center map and start spawning your pieces bit by bit to where you can then use Command the Kraken. It's really good with the dry ends because they can take the turn with their beast first, and then you can steal their turn and take a turn with the Kraken, which is also really strong. There's just so much tech with these guys, and I think it's really good. And when you're using like a ranged piece, you just spawn the Kraken's pieces in front of your ranged guy, and now you have a screen for him.
The only problem I have with him is I do see some like degenerate play coming from him, where you just keep your great bow archers in the back, and you just have like a couple heroes, and you just spawn them, and then you just stay in the back spawning as your opponents have nothing else to do but approach, and you just shoot them down, and then you just go out with your 5 tentacled. These guys are like forward glide strikers if they were nasty.
Yeah, it's unfathomable too, which lets the Gliry move it. I don't think this is perchance the best thing to put in the Gliry deck or the army because you're pretty tight on figure space as is.
Yeah.
You kind of just want to spam out the Gliry. But there are other scenarios when you can just get like a good ranged unit in the back, and then it's just surrounded by a Kraken, and then you have to deal with the ranged unit, and they can just say once per round, okay, well I'm gonna hit you with 5 tentacles. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be really strong. I think that's where Savaris might get a little busted, is when you can just be like, I have a wall of tentacles in my start zone. Have fun.
Yeah. There's some
It's
interesting plays here. I hope it doesn't become degenerate and people play it more.
I think what happens with it is because it's got the 3 defense, it's not as tanky, so thankfully you can kind of chew through it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be. I think it's definitely viable for an army. I think you put this in all the Giant builds by default.
Yeah.
It just has so much utility. You've got the range squads you can do it with. You can even do it with like a heavy melee like Maladrix. You're spawning the Kraken along. You can just take a turn off of Maladrix to push her up.
Yeah,
And
this is another unit that I just don't even know where to begin to build. Like it's almost too expansive. Like you can just have an all Kraken army, like Krakenling, and just spam Krakenlings and summon this guy out because he works with that as well. And
thankfully, it has to be unique.
no,
Oh no, it is unfathomable.
or
Yeah,
unfathomable. So you could
forgot.
just have Kraken common spam and then just bring out the Kraken, like which I haven't
Yeah,
seen a lot of people talking about, but I think there is.
Hollow is gonna be the like pretty big one with this because
Yeah,
you can take the 2 beasts and then steal her turn to take a turn with this one.
but it's cool. Like
It's
it,
gonna depend.
yeah, this is the one that crinkles the brain a little bit because I wouldn't suggest that you play like new players this unit just because you really like it kind of makes you reevaluate the game, not in like a bad way, but you really have to think about this unit as because it's like a squad, but it's like also like a hero proc. It's just kind of
In a competitive sense, you have to think like multiple turns ahead of what you're doing with this guy. You can't just say, "All right, I'm taking turn with my Bonder and
Yeah.
then my squad." You have to really plan this guy out, and your army has to be comprised to take advantage of it, which is a lot of order market placement. It's a high skill, high reward.
Yeah, they both are. It's like, but then you also just have this guy in tandem with Thorman, and then that's where things get a little crazy because then you go with Thorman, you go Savaris, and then you can instead of Savaris does have a shot, you just drop a crack. Like it's there's I don't even think he's broken per se, but there's just
I don't think it's broken. It's just very strong.
It's just strong, and
it is very strong.
Poor Delta team has so much to do now.
To analyze, yeah.
I don't even think they can. I honestly, if between you and me, I don't think Delta can keep up with all this stuff because there's so many builds, and it's hard to evaluate what these builds are.
We'll get there eventually, I hope, but I do like this you can do.
Yeah.
Take a turn with Kraken instead of Beast. Can't you take a turn with the Kraken instead of the Beast? Does that work with Hollow Shot?
Yeah, because they're unique heroes. So if I'm understanding this correctly, after revealing a number order marker on a unique or unfathomable hero you control, you place him. So you reveal an order marker on Halachot, you can place a tentacle. Let's say you have all 5 tentacles out for some reason, and instead of taking a turn with unique, so that's not tied to order marker usage. Halachot can instead, if he has Anshu and Kita in your army, instead of taking a turn with Kita, you take a turn with as many tentacles on the field as well as your other beast you're taking a turn with, which is crazy. And then there's just the utility with, you could do Festering Honor Guard and Tentacles. Pretty much if you get these, I think it's actually thematic now I think about it. If you release the full Kraken, you have like a very strong board state.
Yeah, I joked that it was like Exodia where you get the 5 forbidden parts out and you win immediately because the way to counter this strategy is you just go after the pieces as soon as they start coming out. You have to rush them and limit the amount of activation this thing gets. It's not unbeatable, but it feels very one-sided.
But if if you're set up and you just snipe the Kraken every time they pop up, then it's like
oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm being realized by epiphany from Daniel here. Yeah, you command Kita with Halusha, take its turn. Its turn gets taken away by command the Kraken. So you now take a turn with the Kraken, and then your other beast, and then Halusha. It's gross.
I don't want to play Kraken in Classic, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to deal with Kraken and Raylan. Like, that just sounds unfun. Like
that sounds super rough. Yeah, I mean it's not
contemporary
level of crazy.
Yeah, like contemporary, I'm fine with this, but in Classic, I don't know. Classic has some weird things you can do in that regard. Yeah, I guess
every day I learn something new about this thing, and it just gets better and better.
If there was points for it in a Elf Wizard build, there's probably some fun utility there too, but I don't think it's as viable.
Yeah, because it's a fun army. Like, it makes it slightly better. It's never going to be super competitively, but if you like running it, it's a good piece for it.
Let's see. I just want to touch on some of these comments here. Six said, put Thorm in the game as a playable figure kind of breaks the fourth wall immersion for me. I do like the story revelation they use behind the pirates, though. That's cool. I did call that. I called that a long time ago, where I was like, you know what? Everyone's pointing at Revna a little bit too much. This feels like a Thorben scheme. I get what you're saying, though. I do acknowledge that. I don't know. The fact that Thorman was always destined to show up someplace. Like, he's such a prominent storyteller of a figure. he's the first. I always thought of him as just the the voice into a game. I would have more umbrage if we had like Ular or Jandar officially summoned. Like Thorman's kind of fringe. Like he's a storyteller more so than a warrior. So it's nice to see him kind of enter the fray. But I also see that it's I as with Thorman's card, I'm always like back and forth on it. I'm like, do I hate this? Do I love this? I don't know. But yeah, this is crazy. Let's talk with GI Joe now. Let's just go into
where things get interesting.
The GI Joes.
If they haven't already been.
All right, let's not start with green shirts. I think we have 4 here. That's how they're.
I think the battle box ones are going to be a good one to start off of.
Which ones are those? These ones?
Yeah, these ones are the battle box ones, and then the 4 of on the other one should be the Cobra one.
We'll zoom in and then we'll just go through them.
Yeah, you kind of have to get both of them in frame with this picture, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Discord's a little wonky about it.
That's fine. Here, I'll fix it.
Stand by for technical difficulty.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too much eye strain. We'll try to describe what's going on with each one of them.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes is the first one. He's fine. Like, I don't think particularly impressive, but he's solid for 70 points.
I would put him in a Tanuki build.
I would throw him instantly. Correct me. I would throw the other one that's coming in Tanuki.
Oh,
but
yes.
if I had the points for him, I'd also throw him in there.
I mean, he's I think he's the most ninja-y ninja we have. He actually just does what a ninja's supposed to do.
He reminds me a lot of Agent Carr from Rise of the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
He comes in, he hits something for 6 dice.
If Agent Carr was
and then
good.
he dies. Yeah, and then he dies pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, still.
He has bonding,
Good
which is
enough,
nice now. We'll talk about that. But 70 points, if you need a strong beat stick in your army, not terrible choice. He's actually, I thought he'd be fun to include with things like Zelrake, where you have units that want to scatter. I think he could have some play there, but it's just tough to.
Yeah, I think the main thing he's going to see for contemporary is with Tanukis. Tanukis just really need more ninjas that they can move to get their leaving engagement attacks off.
Especially in contemporary.
He gives them that.
Then we got Duke. I don't want to talk about Duke yet. Let's talk.
Do that.
Let's talk about Roadblock.
Roadblock is one I was kind of like iffy on for a little bit, and then you kind of start running the numbers, and you're like, okay, he's pretty solid.
He's just a mini Q9 with
he's a mini Q9 that can't hit the same person twice and can only roll 3, but you're pretty much always rolling 3 anyway.
For 100 points, he almost feels undercosted. Like
100 points, 3 attacks of 3 at no height bonus is kind of rough, but it's still on par with everything else.
I mean, if you can ever get a hero with 4 life and 6 life and. He's 6 life.
I think what
and 4
keeps him
defense.
from being incredibly oppressive is the 4 move.
Yeah.
He's very slow, so you've got a lot of time to deal with him. So thankfully, he's not too crazy in that regard. But yeah, he's a very solid piece.
You got 100 points left over for a tank. You need a range special for a tank. Like I'd pick him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would take him 100%.
Then we got Scarlet here.
Oh boy, Scarlet! I have a lot to talk about with Scarlet. Compared to everything that's been revealed, I think Scarlet is the second best unit that has come out of this. Maybe third if you count the Kraken. Scarlet is just insanely good. She is. I will go on record to say she's the best 80-point figure aside from Raylan ever.
Oh yeah, she's only 80 points. That's pretty good. Yeah. So walk me through what she does, because I've glanced at the GI Joe stuff.
What Scarlet does for her now you know ability, it's a super good ability because at the beginning of the round, you roll initiative and then you can use this ability. So order markers are placed. You use her ability, you choose an army card, you reveal all of those order markers. So you basically know all the order markers on one card.
That's big.
The thing this does though is because of the way Heroscape is, this becomes half the time you just know all of your opponent's order markers.
Yeah.
If they do a 3-1 split or a 2-2 split, you just know your opponent's turn through process of elimination.
Yeah.
And if they do a 1-1-1 split, you still kind of know their turns. You don't know the order exactly, but you kind of know where they're going.
If you can eliminate one option, you have a pretty good guess of what's going to happen. Yeah, this just eliminates order marker surprises.
Yeah, just in I think the most like high level competitive cheese events where it's just like you're running 5 heavies and Grimnack. She's not gonna be as good,
No.
with that. But any other format, she just gets really good, and down to the end game too. The fact that she just gets value throughout the whole game by being there, you don't even have to put an order mark on her. She just has to be in your army.
Yeah.
And not only do you get to look at the order markers, you get to move one from one of your guys to another one. So like she just gets even better.
Oh, so she has
If
marker removal too. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, she can move a marker from a Joe or a soldier to another one after revealing their order markers.
It's like the
So you can
Admiral's
kind of
ability,
pivot
but
to what's going on.
crazy. Yeah.
You get information reveal, you get an order marker swap. So let's say you're trying to plan to go first, and so you put a risky order marker one that would backfire really hard if you went second. You roll, it doesn't work. All right, so I'm just gonna move my one back to this other soldier. You can just do plays like that
Yeah, that's
and get rewarded for it.
that flexibility, and then you can just lower.
And this is even talking about her next two abilities, which if she just had that first one, I'd still play her.
Yeah.
The second two abilities also just make her a menace in the end game.
Lowers its defense value by 1 for every. Wow. So you just have this total order marker. You know what someone's going to reveal in their order markers. Then you know how to capitalize on it, and just you use her last if you lose initiative. Someone's rolling. You know, if you're like in a spam army, even that person's rolling no defense, maybe one.
Yeah, in the end game scenario where it's down to like a couple figures, it's turn 2 and your opponent went first. They're getting -2 defense.
Yeah.
And with her lethal to the bone, you're getting 2 attacks on that figure, 3 base or 4 height. You're just gonna decimate that thing. Like it's gonna die really quick.
Yeah.
It could be a Maledictus for all I care. If it's turn 3 and she's got 3 order markers on her, she's not gonna survive 2 attacks of 4.
No, that's
It's
crazy.
not gonna happen.
That's almost undercosted. But she doesn't
got
have
the
that soldier
range.
benefits, which is nice.
Yeah, I think she's very undercosted. I think she's hands down like the closest thing to cheese viable we'll get,
Yeah.
aside from another squad coming up. She's got so much good value, and I would just 100% recommend picking her up.
She's
if
just
you
a
want
good
to play
slot
competitive
into
at
any
all.
army. Like if it just gives you a
She
little
fits
bit of
into
range.
anything.
Yeah.
She just fits into literally anything. She is like Raylan, but for information instead of board state.
Then we have Duke. This is the one I'm worried about. I think he's higher cost. Like he's 140 points. But his lead by example, just giving soldiers 1 to their attack, is just not making me excited to play. I already hate my 4th Mass and 10th Reg are like my least favorite units to play into already, just because they already have so much output, and now it's just even more output. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, thankfully with 4th Mass, or I think it's 4th. They won't get the Valiant bonus, so they lose some defense.
Yeah.
Thankfully with that, that does let them play Duke Raylan, but that lowers the amount of 4th. I think that's just a concession you have to make. I think Duke in a 10th build is going to be really strong.
Yeah.
But not unbeatable.
No, 10th are a lot more rushing into combat, so it's going to be hard to keep that. But
thankfully, in like the Renegade point system, they're a lot harder to.
That's
field
true.
now.
That's true. I'm thinking of this classic cheese, which is.
Yeah, if you're thinking classic cheese, I don't know exactly if Duke's going to make the cut. If it's worth just spamming more of them.
Yeah, is it better to just have 2 more squads or Duke?
The problem with Duke is that you have to have a revealed order marker on him too, so you have to take a turn.
Yeah.
With him,
so you'll
only get 1 attack that turn, so you're basically losing out on 3 attacks.
That's true.
So there's some balance to him to not be super crazy with 10th. I think in stuff like Warforged soldiers, he's really good.
Yeah. And then
Romans potentially too. Although Romans have a lot of competition now for what they want to use.
Romans are just like we're eating good today. Like
Romans have been eating good for
Marcus
this entire wave.
is going to shoot up in deltas, and he's going to be like 150 points now. It's like he's already like tough to build into an army.
He's like 120, 110 right now. I think.
Yeah. And now
I like Marcus with like Warforged. That's my niche army that I like to play.
And then you can move 2 soldier heroes. I'm excited to actually play him with the 8th Infantry Pathfinder and like Captain John Varan and VC. I think there's some fun synergy there. But just it's nice to be able to have some bonding with Sergeant Drink too, which is nice.
Yeah, you get like the Sergeant Drink bonding, which is cool. You can take a turn with Roadblock, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's a soldier, which is also pretty strong. You're getting basically 4 attacks of
Yeah.
1 order marker. Glad that it's only 1 time per turn, otherwise it'd be a little too strong.
He's a
But
king that can definitely like like he's a king in a build where like all the heroes that survive are just as capable. Like they don't fall apart. You know, you're running Scions, the king dies, you're kind of out of luck. But Duke goes down, you just have less activations, but you're still
yeah.
outputting.
I mean,
Okay.
you still got a decent base attack on him, 4 attack, 5 with height, 6 range. Like, he's gonna sit back and take the attacks. I think Duke with the green shirts as a sort of like half army, and then using things like Roadblock,
Yeah.
or Sergeant Drake are gonna be pretty good strategies on him.
Green shirts. You can move up to 2 unengaged Shadowjoe or soldiers here, so you control up to 2 spaces. I mean, this is a 4-man range squad. That's always just good, regardless of what you're doing. Like,
Yes, these guys are solid. They're not the greatest thing ever. They're no 10th, they're no 4th, but
they don't need to
they're
be.
okay.
I think they're just there as
Yeah,
just.
I don't think we need more 10th or 4th in the game,
Yeah.
thankfully. But yeah, they're the balanced version of it, I'd say.
Yeah.
5 range is pretty unfortunate, but I mean, they still have 5 move. They can move some figures. They can get Duke into position, and once they have Duke, they have the 3 attack, 4 with height. So they get pretty strong. 85 points seems reasonable.
Yeah. I
They're
think
just
it's
a solid overall squad.
You can even just put like a single squad of these into your army, and just want some like a splash of range. It's not terrible.
Yeah, you do your, take your Duke turn with Roadblock, and then you take your next turn with him, and set this pot up and make the attacks.
Yeah, because with Duke they go up to 3 attacks, and you have high. Yeah, these guys I don't think are tricky or like complicated, but they can shred up a Maldrix. Like I'm
They'll throw a lot of dice at her, that's for sure.
Yeah, so
they take a lot of setup. I don't think this will be one of the competitive armies.
No, but
it's close to being like something you could run.
They do work with 4th Mass. I don't know if that would.
They do work with 4th if you ever want to take them over another point. Like if you're just short enough.
Yeah.
I guess, but like.
Oh yeah, because
I don't think you'd ever do it unless it's like an X of format.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's find the rest of them.
Yeah, the other one's the uncommon, or the uniques from the.
Is that this one?
Yeah, these are the battle box ones.
We'll talk about these.
You want to go with that?
Let's see. Destro. Destro's pretty strong, just because he's pretty much like resistant against range attacks.
Really good.
Destro's going to be, I think, a go-to counter pick for this strong range that we have in the game now.
Destro is a part of the Cobra army that kind of melts this all together, that makes it so strong, which we'll get to when we get to the common. You have a base attack of 4, range 6, which is really good.
Yeah.
You can attack twice, so your second attack is reduced, but I mean,
second
you're throwing
attack
an
is
attack
second
of 4,
attack.
attack of 2. Yeah, with a personal arsenal, you get that second one. So 2 attacks. If you're on height, that's 5 and 3. That's really good output. The Steel Mask gives him some more survivability. That's the one thing he's lacking. He's pretty weak in the survivability department, thankfully. That's his big counter. But you can give him the nanite shield with his gunrunner ability. You've got the 3 glyphs that you can use. The jetpack that gives flying for a turn. The sort of weaker poison, and the automatic shield.
Yeah.
I think you always give the automatic shield, and you just use him as a range piece to just harass your opponent.
Because that's 2 automatic shields, right, against range? Or 1 automatic shield always, and then 2.
Yeah, it's once per round that you can use the auto shield, but the Steel Mask is always.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a thankfully he's not a soldier. I think Storm Shadow is going to be fun in some builds. I think there is.
Storm Shadow's nice. I like him in Tanukis.
Yeah.
I definitely like him.
Oh, Tanukis on Shadow is obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah. You can make the height that you want to stick on Shadow, and you're there and have fun fighting a 6 defense Tanuki.
Yeah.
But he's fun, and he's also got Warland Assault, which is good against the commons that we're gonna see.
Yeah, he's
overall solid figure.
He honestly makes you wonder why Mika Connor was so expensive. Like, he's just better in every way in that regard.
Yeah, and times have been changing since the old 2010s or whatever.
I do feel like some of these units are just a tad undercosted for what they can do, but
yeah, there's definitely that with a few of them. Like some of these definitely need to be boosted.
yeah,
In the
like just like 20 points. Like I feel like they're all like 20 points under, but like you compare what Crimson Widow can do and what Duke can do, you're like,
it's kind of insane.
yeah.
Some of the stuff is.
Let's see here, Mindbender. Yeah, I'm not, I think my biggest fear is I'm just not going to be prepared for the GI Joe meta. Like I'm just not, because they just all do so much.
It's gonna happen, and it's something we gotta be ready for.
But they all look.
A lot of them are pretty strong.
I appreciate how they're fun. I wish honestly more Heroscape heroes were this fun and strong. Like I think heroes should all be at like this power level. Like
yeah, they should definitely be around this level of being able to do stuff. Not everything has to be Q9, but everything can be like a Q10, and I'd say that'd be fine. Doctor's probably the weaker one of the Cobra heroes. It's neat that you can move all the figures next to him, so you kind of get some free development if you take a turn with him.
Oh, that's all friendly figures. That's not just Cobra figures. That's nice.
Yeah, it's anything next to him, so you can kind of push your guys out. Tie up enemies. His attack is fine. 5 move, 5 range, 3 attack, 4 defense. He's tanky. And the bend mind is nice. I just don't know how useful it's gonna be. Because you have to reveal the X once it successfully goes off, and you have to put order markers on him to do this because there's no other way to bond with him as of right now.
But taking a turn with any hero is pretty impressive. Like you can take a turn with Thorman, and then
it's like you get to take a turn with anyone's guys. He'll be strong against certain armies. I think there'll be armies he struggles against.
Yeah, I actually want to try him with an Ordopod. You can move Concan and the Bears all up like at the same time. And that seems pretty fun.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Probably better uses. But
and he's a 70-point filler if you really need some off movement and a way to deal with uniques.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine. 13 isn't too high to hit on the D20.
No,
getting to take a turn with their figures is really good.
If it happens one time in the whole game. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it ends up being pretty big.
Yeah, I think he's tricky. I think if you have him in your army, I'd be like, oh, I gotta watch it. I gotta take this guy out as fast as possible.
I think he shines in the bonding with Baroness.
Yeah.
I think that's where he's going to be the best. But
Cobra Commander, I feel
that would probably be the only army I think that he.
Cobra Commander is pretty milquetoast. I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's pretty underwhelming. Like, it's not the best bonding target for Romans. I think there's other things too.
He has range.
Getting one automatic skull is fine. Yeah, he has range. It's cool.
Automatic
to get you next time is fine. Like
it's okay.
It's a survivability thing. Like,
yeah.
Not really doing a lot with it. It stops him from being surrounded, which is cool.
Yeah. It's fine. I think there's for 110 points I could think of numerous things I'd rather, especially even just the GI Joes itself.
It's kind of unfortunate that he's the weakest of the Joe in this side of the box.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Let's see here. We got the flight pod here.
I totally forgot the flight pods. They're pretty similar in what they do. One's got the fire line special, and then this one's got the explosion.
Yeah.
It's a filler unit. I think that's the only thing.
35 points to.
35 points to
jump in,
stop an order marker snipe.
Yeah.
And has some range. It's fine.
Scout bonuses.
I don't think anything's crazy. Yeah, scout bonus.
I could see him in a fun mittens build, but
Yeah, I think this is you have 35 points and you don't want to play Kita.
Yeah. Have we talked about these ones? Yeah, we talked about these guys. Oh, we got Cobra.
I think it's we have the promo guy. This guy seems very interesting for Romans.
Oh yeah, Romans are crazy with this guy. Once per turn after attacking with certain you may take 1 additional normal attack, so that's just a double attack.
It's a straight double attack.
All figures subtract 1. Wow.
And then if at one point you were going to get order marker sniped, you can move this over. And you can also do this for like in a scenario in which you really need to, you were going to do an off pick with like something else and it got picked off. So like you're about to lose an order marker and just swap it over. At least get 2 attacks out of it. 6 life, 4 attack, 4 defense is just a good beat stick. And 6 move is also really, really strong. you kind of just throw him up and have him fight whatever other hero they're bonding with, and you end up winning out on dice.
Yeah, that's...
As we've seen with Maledrix, 2 attacks of 4 is pretty strong.
He is just undercosted. Yeah, like, this guy's going to stick around for a long time. Like, he is...
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can get to that 4 defense and 6 life, you're there for a while. Like, consistently, you're blocking more of those attacks of 3.
Yeah, and Romans aren't the best in all time, but if
No.
you run Raylan with them, then he's got 6 defense, which is also pretty good.
And it's just his output.
And he's lowering the defense of everything next to them, so Romans can come clean out.
So it's like he has a higher attack if he's low. I think it's almost like one more attack. Ultimately, I think what it comes out to. Inventive Harvest is a sad Cobra Commander is their favorite character. I don't know much about GHO, so I can't comment on the unit itself.
I do think it's thematic that 8's to run away when he gets hit.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I know.
Let's see.
Otherwise, I think he's fine with Baroness too, but that's probably about it. Yeah, these are the glyphs with what's his name?
What do you think on the the flipping it symbol side up? I think it's unique. It's a unique way to show activation.
Fine, it's a good way to make it a once per round restriction and like have a visual reminder of hey, I used it.
Yeah, it also lowers defense.
It just brings up. It does lower your own guys, which is with the promo guy. I already forgot his name. But you kind of just have to keep him offside over towards the enemies and kind of position them right. I think Romans kind of negate that with their initial defense too. But yeah, I think the glyphs are fine.
I think they're interesting because they work on you give them any unique hero, right? Like there's some
any unique hero.
So
one is definitely a lot better than the others, but like you give the poison glyph to a beat stick.
Yeah.
And he does an extra wound, which is good. You give the jetpack to somebody who needs to get somewhere really quick. I think you're almost always taking coding and shielding, like 90% of the time, unless the map really demands jump pack.
Can you give multiple to the same unit, right?
I think it's different ones.
Oh, okay.
That you have to do, but you can give one to Destro himself.
Because I'm just thinking of like running siege with one of these glyphs, so then he's becoming a lot more interesting at this point.
Yeah, I don't think you can put both on him, unfortunately.
Okay, we got your troopers that you want to talk about.
Okay. This is hands down like the best figure they came out with in the wave, like competitively valuable speaking. This is on cheese level, I believe. These guys are insanely good. They're like insanely good. Like Earthling made a joke that Gen Con Top 8 is just going to be all these armies, and I think he's right. These guys are really good. And it's mainly to 2 facts. One of it being they're a ranged squad that bonds.
Yeah.
And we only have Aerogruts before that do that. And the thing with Aerogruts is that when you bonded with them, you either had to choose to develop your Swag Riders to give your Aerogruts more attack, or use something like Memoring for some more offensive power. The thing with Cobra Troopers is you can move your piece with your Swag Rider and attack with it. Because almost all the Cobra have range. Well, the Warlords and Profiteers. Destro is the one you're going to be using mainly, because he's the strongest one. You'll move Destro and get 2 attacks. Like, that's already good offensive output. And then you'll move the Troopers, and you'll get 4 attacks. Like, you just throw so many dice. It's kind of crazy. In Contemporary, it's a bit more restricted because you're not going to have the defense boost. But in all-time, Raylan with, like, 4 squads of these, Destro and the Twins, is a completely fine cheese army. I think that's on par with what cheese has to offer.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And
you
having
bonding.
You get the bonding, and then you also have a unique 2-man squad of Cobra units that both trigger it. And the unique squad's really good too. That unique squad also lets one other figure be a Cobra, which will count towards your bonding. If you make, like, Maburksa also in all time, you can make Maburksa a Cobra and have him push up and be your Swag Rider.
Wow.
Shoot something, dare something, and then get these guys on him. There's just so much good stuff you can do. And there's 70 points. It feels like the point value should have been reversed. The green shirts should have been 70. These should have been 85.
Yeah, they feel pretty potent.
They are extremely good. Like, the adjacency buff also stacks. So if you have 2 figures next to one of them, it's 3 attack.
Yeah.
If you ever get into a scenario where you have like 4 attacks of 3, and then you also had Destro shooting twice, it's just gonna feel unstoppable. The only thing that keeps us back is how frail the army is. So if you get ran over, you get ran over hard.
They're susceptible
but it's
to
really
like
good...
fire blast, like explosion attacks. I think is their biggest
explosion
weakness.
attacks. And thankfully, there's not a whole lot of those that are like meta viable.
Yeah.
Aside from like maybe Memmering.
Sid Nesbitt stonks going up.
Yeah, they're gonna feel really strong.
Yeah, I
really
don't want to
strong.
fight against these guys. These guys are gonna shred.
I'm playing this army 100% for Gen Con when it comes around, and I'm gonna see how it does.
Yeah, this might buff up like Milky and Deflectatron. It gives people a chance to survive the onslaught, I think.
Like Glennerva or something.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, Glennerva. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. We got the wound markers. Those are. I don't know how well they'll work, but let's see. I know that we got the other one.
Very interesting. I think the only ones we're missing are the battle box techniques for G.I. Joe.
Let's see here.
I think that's it.
I thought I saw them. Maybe I didn't. Okay, let me try to grab those because I need to look at those.
Yeah, no problem. Take a quick restroom break.
All right. Let me catch up with chat too. There's just so many units. This is crazy. I'm glad I am not editing this. Oh yeah, let's see here. And thanks for everyone in the chat for just hanging out. Let's see here. Welcome TOV. It's good seeing you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. I've been kind of AWOL. We've been getting over sickness in the home. So, yeah, lots of lore stuff I definitely want to pick Jeremy's brain about. Lore book has also been announced. I'm super excited for that. We have like a chronological timeline of Valhalla, which, if you're a lore fan, it's really great to have. And I am definitely going to annoy Jeremy ad nauseum about that. Yeah, so lots of really fun units. Really, I haven't even looked at the cost of what this is going to cost me yet. I definitely encourage you to parse this out and know what you want to play before you just start getting everything. I think we're at the stage of the game. A Warhammer fan doesn't buy every Warhammer box. Definitely know what you want and then go from there. Yeah, the lore book is awesome. It's something I've dreamt of happening for Heroscape, but yeah, it's cool. We're Heroscape fans are eating good. We got a lot of good stuff. We kind of we did Age of Annihilation, which is cool. I'm not gonna diss on Age of Annihilation. There's some really great units. Some of my favorite units in the game are in AOA. But it's nice. But the problem is we knew about those. We knew about AOA for 2 years. So it was just waiting to get what we already knew was going to happen. Here we're kind of in the Wild West of I don't know what's going to happen. We'll get Thorman. We'll get the snakes. We'll get a giant ship. It's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm just kind of the center of it all, which is pretty cool. It's been just the March and April stuff. Yeah, it's I mentioned I was probably have to start doing commissions to get this stuff again, but I was taking a little break. But back into the fray to afford my hobby now. But I think that's the one downside. I don't appreciate the cost increase. It was already a little high. Even unpainted is a little high. But a lot of, I think the good thing, the problem I have is I would just disregard the G.I. Joe stuff, but it's definitely, it's, as we're seeing, it's definitely important if you're kind of, I'm a competitive player. I don't have to win, but I like going to the events, and at least, I'm also a completionist. I just got Master Wen Chu Wu. I found him online for a good deal. So my goal is to have everything eventually, but I think this is all about pacing yourself. I have to get over this fear that this is all going to go away instantly and stockpile everything, and just this is what I want. This is what I'm going to get. I am getting a lot of snakes, so I'm going to become a Rannoch main, I think, and
yeah, I think with how it works with the schedule, there's so many good units that you kind of just pick the one army you want to play.
Yeah.
Buy into that heavily, and then sort of piece together the collection from the rest of it.
Put it on your birthday list for just things you want to have on hand.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Let me find what we just saved. Wait, I skipped it. No. Oh, there we go.
Yep, this is the one.
Okay, Baroness got me excited. I just like agent botting.
Yeah, agent bonding's super cool because it's only once per turn, which is quite unfortunate. But you're taking to a Skahen, you're getting 3 attacks of rain from her, and then Baroness's turn. It's pretty solid.
Karn Dune is now not completely useless. Like honestly, Karn Dune.
Yeah, you can still use Karn Dune with her, and I think it's a little rough because you only get the 1 turn and then you have to swap to
it's not best, but at least there's an army to build. It's not just sitting out there.
Yeah, you can do something with them.
What's False Orders do here? Choose.
False Orders is a pretty strong ability from her. It's D20 reliant. For sure.
Oh, but you get to move in order. It's pretty much like maddening chitter or whatever for.
Yeah, it's like maddening chitter, except they have to be all within the 6 spaces. You can't just put it on like their Samu or filler unit in the back.
So it's a lesser form, but I mean that's still.
Yeah, I think it's good against like moving an order marker to the bonding squad. Bonding squad's a hero, or vice versa, whatever suits the needs to limit their activations. It's a good ability to have. She just has to be like right up next to them in order to use it.
She's kind of a command hub. It seems like she just kind of can.
Yeah, and she's got disengage too to get out of there when things get pretty bad, which I think is going to be really useful.
Range 7.
You're kind of just sitting back there, taking pot shots with her. She's like Agent Skahen, I'd say.
Yeah, not terrible. It'd be hard.
I
to
like
knock
the armies you can build with her. I just think that other stuff is better.
Oh, I saw these guys. These guys are crazy. The Crimson Twins.
The twins are what make the Cobra army so strong. First, sharing life pool is really cool. I like that. Giving them more life for survivability rather than just having 2 life each.
Or just being 2 heroes. Yeah, it's unique.
Yeah, or just being 2 heroes that you have to have. But they just have like good abilities, like 6 range, 4 or 6 move, 5 range is solid. 3 attack, 3 defense is good at range. They can shoot. They make another figure Cobra affiliation at the start, so you can get your Cobra shenanigans on with the Troopers or Baroness. And then business operations 2 is really good.
Is there
any Cobra figure, including themselves?
So, is there any unit that benefits from not being their respective general? I'm trying to think if like a unit would love to drop their general, and I don't think so.
I don't think so. It would only be they just get the benefit of being Cobra.
Yeah, maybe a very niche, like you're against a Templar and you have like an Utgar.
Yeah, you're like there's that. You're against Templars,
but nothing too significant to build around.
Yeah, if you're using bankroll, you're using it for like the business operations side of it, or the rest of your army is built around Cobra. So being able to move whatever figure you choose as Cobra 2 spaces is also good. Like if there's any, you move this figure adjacent to other figures, not during its turn, stuff procs. I think it's pretty good.
This,
operations essentially gives the second brother 6 move.
Yeah. Because
after it's one of them attacks, the other one can move. So they have a lot of maneuverability
for 70 points.
Good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's 70 points. It's not bad. It's 2 bodies to act as Swag Riders. Even on their own, they're pretty good. If there's a hero, you need to really
this wave is showing me that they're saying we're not balancing against Classic anymore. Is really what these waves are showing. They're not even caring about Raylan movement shenanigans anymore. They're just like, all right, Raylan's Oldscape. That's definitely what it feels like, and I respect it. Like, I think it's best to start considering these units more in a contemporary format than Classic.
I think with so many units being produced, like, eventually you're going to have the slip-ups where, like, this thing is kind of crazy.
Well, Raylan stops so many fun movement. There's so many fun abilities. So I'm happy to move away from it and just deal with it when it happens in formats that allow her.
Also won't... It'll be pretty rough when Raylan gets to move for free off of this when you make her Crimson in that army. Or Cobra in that army, but, leave that for the super high cheese things.
Yeah.
They're a fine unit. I really like them. They're good in the build.
No, they have a lot of versatility. Stuff. I like that they can share, like, that's a fun...
It's cool design.
Yeah.
Really cool design.
And some people in Discord are kind of putting their nose up. I think it's fun. The G.I. Joe just seem to have a lot more fun with their card text.
G.I. Joe is what the set that will not be named for legal reasons should have been.
Yeah. Let's see, motorized zipline. Actually, I think that is a crazy ability.
Yeah, it's a really cool ability. Because how far does it go? It goes like 5 spaces away.
Yeah. I think that's what the ziplines are, 5 or 6 spaces away.
Place up to one zipline glyph on an empty space within 1 space of her. And yeah, you can like connect with the ziplines by movement, I think.
I hope we see some more fun glyph tech like that. Like I've been theory crafting like a big spider build, like where it lays glyphs, but like you get stuck on the space between the two glyphs instead of like the glyphs proper. So I think that's a fun design space to really explore. And if
Yeah, I think she's pretty good, and then she's got Master Disguise too, which helps her out a lot too. And the soldier shenanigans. 6 move, 4 range. It's fine. I think the main thing she brings is the zip line. It's gonna allow you to do some cool things.
so is it instead of moving you go on the zip line, or is it in addition? I assume it's instead of moving. Right?
I don't know exactly. I can see if I can find it real quick.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up here. So once per turn, when a small or medium figure ends its movement on this, while moving normally, you can choose another zip line within 6 spaces of this zip line and place that figure within 1 space of it, and on the same level as the glyph.
So it's instead of moving.
Yeah, so it's at once you stop on it from your normal movement, you then get to zip line.
Oh wow! So you could.
Yeah, so you can move your full amount and then zip line even farther.
So you can just.
She's really good for setting up a like beeline to your opponent's start zone.
But anyone can use it, right? Like it's anyone that steps on.
Any figure can use it. So you would give them a beeline for your start zone, but like in a gallery build where you're just like, okay,
I'll just slide down it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just like throw my entire army on it. Cool, they're all in your start zone now. Have fun. But I think she's cool. She'll have some unique builds.
For 60 points, you can just slip her in anywhere, really. And she doesn't like need a strong build to make her useful.
This might be a good counter for the Kraken pod builds.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of get into their start zone really quick and start hammering their heroes and their pieces of the Kraken.
Yeah, she's good for
she's gonna go pretty fast.
For stopping pods. Really, she's a pod breaker at this point. Like.
Yeah, you spend the first 2 turns on her to set her up. Maybe get an attack in on the second one.
Can you remove the glyphs, or are they just there forever?
I think they're permanently there.
Wow, that's pretty good. So you can just get her used to setting that up, and then get some pot shots. Yeah.
Even taking the first 3 turns on her, where like you move her, place a glyph, move, and then place another one somewhere else. You have like a triangle of where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because they can all go to another one within 6 spaces.
Huh.
It'll be fun to see what you can do with her.
Yeah, there's some fun tech, like for some slow moving heroes.
Yeah, and 60 points is super cheap too, so you can just slot.
I'm gonna zipline siege into someone's start zone. That's what I've always wanted to do.
It sounds super fun, where you're just like, all right, round 2, I have a direct beeline to your start zone.
Yeah.
Do something about it.
And then I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna try that tech out because I think that's gonna be kind of fun and just be unkillable and just killing everyone around me. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Let's see, we got Jinx and Kamakura.
The very last ones we're gonna cover, and they're the ninja bonders, which is really cool. I like that we have bonding ninjas. These guys are gonna be really good with the Tanuki.
Yeah.
Having 2 figures to move is really nice.
Let's attack 2.
They also have some decent like damage-wise. So if you have a lot of Tanukis next to the enemy figure, they start getting up there and dice to throw. And they've got 3 life, 2/4 defense. They're really tanky.
Oh, you take a turn with a ninja hero, so you got some builds there. I mean, you can just do this guy in Isamu for just a quick.
Yeah, this on Isamu will work in all time. And you can do Otonashi also if you want to have even more ninjas to.
Does each squad figure have 3 life? That's crazy.
Yeah, each one has 3 life, which is really good.
Yeah.
4 defense, 3 life is not to be underestimated.
2 attacks.
These things can get up to like 4 to 2 attack or 4 to 5 attack pretty easily.
Oh yeah, in a Tanuki build, these guys are like, they got the range. They can do some things. I think.
Yeah, I want to see how the Tanuki build does with like these, the Cobra Ninja. As many cheap ninjas as you can fit into the build, and then just fill the rest out with Tanukis. And then just push all of your ninjas forward and just Nagwaz everything out of leaving engagements. See what happens. It seems like they'll be pretty fun to build. I don't think they'll make Moriko playable. Maybe, I don't know. Delta probably. But they're pretty strong.
I mean, Moriko has so much development now. Like 3 attacks of 3 isn't terrible, but I mean, just Delta you can slip her in somewhere, but there's just better options at this stage.
if you're getting like 3 attacks of 3, and then you're getting 2 attacks of 3 also, like 5 attacks of 3 in a turn's pretty good at shredding stuff. So I think they'll see some play. In Contemporary, there's not enough ninja support, I think, at the moment to make them great. I think Tanukis might be able to take a bit of advantage, but...
Yeah, I mean, just moving these guys into position. I don't know if they're upper mid tier for what you want
I would
to
almost
do.
just want to run these as 2 bodies to use for Jaguars, but at that point you might as well just run 2 more squads of Tanukis for the same point cost.
Yeah, that's the question. Are they better than 2 squads of Tanukis? And I don't know if that is the case. But they do get to take a turn with a ninja hero, so it kind of depends on your build. If you're looking to get that shadow set up, then you just get that combo. It just kind of, I think they're good, but I don't think they're great. But I think that's everything.
It's nice
right?
to see that you got some nice bonding, and yeah, that should be every single unit.
So what's your
is
Troopers your favorite from this release?
For competitive wise, the Troopers are. To play wise, it's probably gonna be the Bugs.
Bugs, yeah.
Skydor. They look really cool to play.
I got it.
Like I said, I'm gonna be happy playtesting all of these. Like, it's not like last wave where I was like die hard Glyri all the way.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best thing ever. I want to play this.
Yeah, no.
This is just like I look at all of these and I'm like, man, I want to play all of these armies. I know some are better than others, but
yeah, if I was slapped with any of these armies, I'd be like, I can make something work here. I'm not like left with a dud. I think like you have things like the crabs, which need a little bit of support, and they're just kind of awkward to play in large settings.
Yeah, awkwardly enough, the crabs are like probably best in the Tanuki build as like things that exist to be leaving engagement bait.
But crabs are okay, but they're okay. Like, you don't feel the need to build around crabs.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to build around them.
But they're okay. I don't think they're as bad as people say. They just need like.
Yeah, no, they're just fine squad.
If they had a hero to give them 2+ movement, they'd be fine. But all these, I'm like, there's just so many. Like, I think this is a very decadent cake we have
to
here.
The last few waves of commons, and like these things are just insanely crazy.
And also, they just like gameplay, like they're just cool. Like, I don't feel like they're memeing on us or like they're.
Yeah, it's not like the game's changing in a direction that's different, but it feels like Heroscape, they just up the power of like what we've been pretty much used to.
Yeah,
I'm glad that the meta is going more towards what like the original Heroscape meta looks like, where it's a lot of different squads that have bonding heroes. You've got hero builds that do strong things but are vulnerable to order marker management.
Yeah, I actually really like playing Contemporary more than Classic Heroscape, because I think Classic Heroscape.
I like the distinction between the two a lot.
Yeah.
And I think competitive Contemporary is like a really fun format to play in because it's not solved yet. Like, we know what's good in all the time. We know what works around it, what doesn't. This is completely new beast. Like a lot of people thought that Exiles, Bugball, Maldrix was the best army for Gen Con, and the Tanuki build ended up winning it. I'm not to say it's a better army exactly, but I mean, there's stuff that people sleep on.
There's a lot of the game has this an interesting state where it's self-aware enough to do things. Like, before, they just kind of pump things out. They're just like, here's Blade Gruts, here's Heavy Gruts. Like, they didn't care about it as a game, and the game almost like distanced itself from the most fun part of the game, which is the order marker usage. Like, order markers are really important in this wave, like how you place them and how you use them. You still have your common spam for those who don't want to think too much, but now, like, you can do stuff with order markers, which I really appreciate.
You can do those high risk, high reward armies that, if you play it correctly, it's gonna be really powerful. And
yeah,
it'll be on par at least with the common spam that's coming out.
Yeah, Daniel says the heroes are being balanced to be heroes, which I really appreciate. I always thought common squads were just. I don't have a problem with common squads. I just don't think a common squad should take out, Maladrix in one turn of a 50-point common squad. But Contemporary is a fun format to play. Like, I don't.
Yeah, Contemporary is super fun.
I like all heroes. Like, the only format I don't like playing is cheese. Like, it's just cheese is kind of brain dead to me. Like, I know it's high level and
Yeah,
people.
it's a solid format where the determiner of winning is the dice and how good you are as a player, and that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's
It's
not.
like the armies don't just pick themselves.
I can't
Basically.
surprise, but I like there's some fun stuff. Like, I'm dreading reverse the whip. Like with all this stuff, like there's just so much options now. Like I can't be prepared for all these. Like it's like I call it a really decadent cake that we have right now. Like it's just so much. There's really good stuff. It almost is like too much.
Yeah, it's like you can't have the whole cake at once. You
No.
can't eat the whole cake. It's too much. But you know you can have a slice here and there, and eventually you'll have the whole cake done.
Yeah, but
and I
it's,
feel like that's with these waves. You just got to pick your battles and slowly build up.
But I think that's a good. Like I like because like honestly like I get VC was nice. VC's nice because you can kind of build some more things around it. But I'm honestly kind of like I'm so back and forth on VC. Like I enjoy it and appreciate it. But I enjoy it and appreciate it less now that we have actually like floods of new units coming in. Like I feel like
I've always just been like kind of distant from VC because I came into it really late. So I'm like, oh, here's 100 units that I have to learn now, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this.
It was nice when there was 10 years of nothing, so it kind of gives you a little drop release, and I respect all the design. Like it's I don't want to like
I definitely like a lot of VC designs.
I don't want to like dunk on it. It's just like I am more excited about all this stuff. Like I want to get into this and play this, and yeah, there's just so many fun things.
There are designs here that are pushed beyond what VC would normally accept and or allow that I think are things that make this game go in a more interesting, if not powerful, like a little bit of power creep direction, but it's not to the point where like we're having Raylan 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were in Raylan 4 at this point, but no, I think it's.
We are on Raylan 4, yeah.
I think. Yeah, honestly, Heroscape has always had this weird, like, it's always been held back because the first releases were some of the strongest units in the game. And it's actually had, like, such a slow decline. Like, things just slowly became so overpriced. Like, they kept on overpricing heroes toward the end of the game. I'm like, why are you... And then they kept on, like, underpricing squads. Like, they kind of slipped away. Like, Krog was 120 points when released. I still feel like he's 120 points. You know, like, he's not, like, but... There was a point in Delta where he was like 160 or whatever. So like it's nice to have a little bit of a level set. It's nice to have some really just strong units in the game that are satisfying and like not like Q9 is not a satisfying unit to play against. It's just like all those units have counterplay.
Like very fluid armies with clear-cut weaknesses.
Yeah.
This isn't I have a bunch of rats, you have to get through it and kill my thing that wins me the game.
Yeah.
This is my army. You can see the pieces. You know, a lot of Heroscape is based on the game state. What actions do you take? And these armies give you that choice and multiply it compared to something like Q9 where there's only one directive and it kill their guy. This is now like, all right, I have directives that can change depending on what's going on. Yeah, VC is kind of like you just had to be there while it was happening sort of thing.
Yeah, it's hard to jump. I couldn't imagine jumping into it now.
Like I said, I got a lot of respect for the designs that come out of there. There's some really cool things. Just, I was very, very late to the party.
Yeah, I was there, and I actually, like, what I used to do, I just took the designs I liked and kept them, but then I modified the designs I didn't like to be my broken home game levels of stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
I learned a lot about the game and design from it, and there's still some VC units I like to play to this day. Like sometimes it's like I want to play a unit that's like really bad in Classic, but they're fun in VC. And
yeah, like you need to play like
Death Stalkers. I like a lot more fun in VC, but all in all, I think the game is just. I think it should still exist. I think it's a good outlet for people to. But it's hard. I think VC is going to get hard to design with so much stuff coming out, with so much dynamic stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely going to place a limitation, and I mean maybe they need a break after years of designing stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps out with them, or I know a lot of the VC people are also like
Testers.
helping play test.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot of NDA stuff.
They've got hard to even. They're basically working towards their new stuff in an official way.
But the news releases, I think overall, this has been my favorite batch of releases. I've had nitpicks with some of the other previous releases. I think each one, just minor things from aesthetics to playstyles to to all that stuff, and now I feel I'm just kind of just looking forward to it all. I'm looking forward to going to like a really fresh and vibrant meta of just so many options. I think
I have never been more excited to play Contemporary in my life.
I'm looking forward to like like you were at Gen Con. Yeah, it was just
Yeah, like I've been playing Contemporary since the AOA set came out. And,
Contemporary
like,
is
at the beginning,
fun.
Contemporary was pretty rough at start when it was just like dominated by Maledicts. But now, like we see an actual like floodgate of armies open up.
Yeah, so I could definitely see someone bringing elites to Gen Con and trying it out.
Yeah, I could see myself playing, the Volrak round 1, and then playing Gallery round 2, and then playing something else round 3.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's almost like I said, too much interesting. Like I'm like, but when I can't, I'm naturally an insomniac, so I'll just be building armies while I can't sleep now. It's like fun to have so many options to build. Like
yeah, I'm gonna be joining every single online free tournament to play these new units once we get like pretty close proxies available.
What's the unit you think surprised you the most? The more you thought about it? Like the more you're like, oh wait, this is.
It was 100% Kraken because
Kraken.
I'm just dumb and can't read. There's just so many different interactions with it. I just totally forgot about some of the things. I was all in on the Undead Kyrie being the best one, but I think they're still solid. It's just I thought they were going to be insanely crazy.
And I don't know if it's like more of a
probably be between those two guys.
More of a second term thing, but it would have been nice to have like a hero pack, just one Heroes of Nolandia or whatever, just kind of tie it all together. But maybe that's the second quarter that's all coming out.
Yeah, I mean, we have through June, so like 8 months, and then I think in February they're going to be showing some of the more stuff.
Oh, we do have the Master Set coming out soon too, which is going to be crazy.
the Master Set, which will have some stuff.
So it'll probably be packed filled with. I haven't even thought about that, but we have like a whole new Master Set coming out.
Yeah, that'll come with basically all the bonders.
I mean, allegedly. We'll
say quote unquote. I have no clue what's coming out,
But yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think aesthetically, I'm most excited to paint the Ranox. I think they're just a really simple, fun design, but there's a lot of detail shoved into them. And then excited. I like the Nucleave. The more I wasn't sold on the Revenants, but the more I've been thinking about them, they've been growing on me. And I think I love unique builds, so I'm definitely going to be trying out some Thorman stuff as well too.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to add. I appreciate being on here.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for hopping on.
Read all of my knowledge of these guys.
Yeah, no, it was nice to get it out of my brain. So
I can rest easy tonight, finally. Thankfully. just one day, then it's back to the grind. But...
it's back to arguing people on Discord as it goes. But
I'll still do that tonight anyway. But
well, thank you all for watching, and thank you, Darkly, for hopping on. My voice is completely gone for talking about this. And I'm missing dinner, so I'll let you all go.